said their backup tight end is about 280 pounds.
Well, you look at that line, Larry. There's 300, 280, 250, 290. That's some meat.
And Fort Payne will try to counter with a small, quick line, and we'll see how it comes out. The Wildcats are on the field ready for this opener. Gadsden is just now starting to come on the field. Let's quickly run through the starting lineups. First of all, for the Gadsden Tigers. Gadsden will start at center. Number 64, Rufus Watson, 6'1", 250-pound senior. The guards are Reggie Williams, number 73, 5'9", 280-pound senior, and Jeremy Robinson, 6'1", 240-pound senior. The tackles are Juwan Peoples, a 6'3", 300-pound junior, and Torrey King, number 74, 6'1", 290, and here come the Tigers onto the field. Tight end will be Scott Wesson, 6'2", 250-pound. Split end will be DeJuan White, 5'11", 180-pound senior, or Lane Montgomery, 5'10", 180-pound junior. In the backfield, they'll start the junior quarterback Luke Carlisle. He'll direct this offense. He's a 5'11", 175-pound junior. The running backs, as we mentioned, are Robert Williams, number 35, a 5'11", 192-pound senior, and Kenneth Alexander, number 3, a 6'2", 245-pound senior. Wing back is Ernie Sharp, number 14, 5'10", 160, a sophomore. Fort Payne will send out their captains, and they are Jonathan Dreyer, number 40. Number 72 is Rory Jones. Number 65 for the Wildcats, Zane Hardinger, and Darrell Prater is out there. Fort Payne offensive will start Brian Jones at center, as Roger will check this coin toss for us. The Wildcats will start Brian Jones at center. He is a 6'3", 232-pound senior. The guards are Zane Hardinger, a 5'11", 228-pound senior, and Bo Wilson, a 5'7", 220-pound junior. The tackles are Rory Jones, 6'3", 253-pound senior, and Dustin Hill, 5'11", 210, a senior. Split end will be Justin Pate, number 10, 5'11", a 165-pound junior. And tonight at tight end will be alternating between Jonathan Dreyer and also Justin Garmany in there. Dreyer is 6'3", 220-pound senior. Quarterback is Kenny Chadwick, 5'11", 170-pound senior. Fullback will be Justin Garmany, 5'8", 167-pound senior, or Jonathan Dreyer, 6'1", 220-pound junior. They'll alternate in there between tight end and fullback. Tailback, as we know, is Darrell Prater, 5'9", 174-pound senior. The wingback is Alex Igo, number 80. Alex is a speedster, 5'10", 157-pound senior. Captains are there. Fort Payne has won the coin toss, and Roger, Fort Payne is going to do what?
I would think they would opt to defer to the second half.
We'll see. If you're as sharp this year as you were last year, you didn't miss many of them last year, did you?
Well, that was the easiest part of my job, Larry.
And Fort Payne has, in fact, won the coin toss, and they will receive.
Well, hey, no use worrying about the record now.
That's right. And the Gadsden Tigers will kick off. Fort Payne will kick from our left to the right. The Wildcats, dressed in those home black shirts and gold pants across the way. Gadsden all in white with the orange trim. So we're going to see Fort Payne's offense right off the bat. Coach Elmore probably didn't want to give that football away to Gadsden, and so we're going to get a look at this offense right off the bat.
Yeah, you look back to the little fall game we had last week and how Boaz was able to run against us. Of course, if you look last night, Boaz literally destroyed Arab, ran all over him. So maybe Boaz was a little better than we thought, and we really did play with them. The mixed extra point, the difference in that game.
Alex Igo will be deep. On the far side is Anthony Thompson, and on the near side will be David Crabtree. Alex Igo is in the middle, and kicking for the Tigers will be Randy Smith, number 19. Smith will tee it up on the hash mark on the 40-yard line, and the 1998 season is about to get underway from beautiful Wildcat Stadium. Hot, hot night. I don't think we've talked about that yet since we've come on the air, but it is really warm out here tonight, Roger. Good baseball weather.
Well, Coach Elmore said this would probably be the hottest night of the year.
So, ready to get it underway, as teeing it up there will be Randy Smith at the 40-yard line. Igo stands around the 5 to try to run this one back. Everybody is ready, waiting on the referee's whistle, and there it is, and the 1998 season is about underway as Smith will approach the football, got his toe into it and knocked it deep. Alex Igo is going to catch it around the 5-yard line. Igo straight up the middle of the 10, 15, 20, found a hole, 25, and up to the 26-yard line goes Alex Igo. They're going to mark him down right at the 26-yard line. So Fort Payne will start from, they mark him right on the 25.
He was stopped by Scott Wesson, a 6'2", 250-pound senior. And Wildcats have first down at the 25-yard line.
Mark it squarely on the 25, and into the ball game will come, Justin Pate brought the play in. Chadwick is in there at quarterback, and the fullback will be Jonathan Dreyer. Tailback is Darrell Prater. Tate will split to the far side. Alex Igo to the near side. First and 10 from the 25, going to run up the middle. Gave it to Dreyer. Dreyer got knocked down. Dreyer found a little bit of hole in there and picked up about, they're going to give him 2 yards on the play.
Well, not only can Kenneth Alexander run with the ball, he made that tackle.
He is a big youngster, Alexander is. A college prospect, Coach De Lorenzo says. 6'3", 245 pounds. So Fort Payne tried the heart of that line, and Alexander met Dreyer after a 2-yard gain. So here is Fort Payne 2nd and 8 as Thomas Ross will come to the near side now. The tight ends are in tight. Igo is slot on the near side. The I formation behind the quarterback, Chadwick, who gives the distance down to Prater, and Darrell Prater is going to go and squirt it outside and got to the 25-yard line and fumbled the football, and Gadsden has it. They gave him up to the 30, and he fumbled the football, and Gadsden has it. Inauspicious start as Prater carried it for 3 yards but fumbled.
I think most of that yardage came with the ball loose on the ground, Larry. He was hit pretty hard on the line of scrimmage.
So the first break of the night will go to the Gadsden Tigers as they get it on the 31-yard line. So Fort Payne's defense is going to be tested right away, and we're going to see this dangerous, potent Gadsden offense. Luke Carlisle is in there. He has Robert Williams and Kenneth Alexander set in a wing formation behind him. Going to give the ball to Williams to the 30, heading inside 25, and on down to the 20-yard line will go Robert Williams. They spot him right at the 20. So, and 11-yard gain for Robert Williams.
Jonathan Dreyer had a chance to stop him after about a 5-yard gain. He made a little spin move and picked up another 6 yards, and it's first and 10 from the 20.
So Williams on his first carry goes for 11 yards, and Gadsden has a first down at the Fort Payne 20 following the Fort Payne fumble. Carlisle is your quarterback. They have an I set this time with Williams dotting the I. Carlisle will run this plays, has a man in motion on the near side, gave it up the middle, and fumble. The ball's on the ground. Gadsden has this one, though. Carlisle went back and fell on it. The ball was laying on the ground for a long time, but Carlisle fell on it back at the 22.
The left guard for Gadsden moved on the play. They didn't throw a flag, but he was definitely moving.
And Gadsden will be 2nd and 12 from the 22-yard line. He tried to run that quick trap in the middle, it looked like, and Carlisle had the ball knocked out of his hands by Alexander, who came flying by there to get the ball. Now here's 2nd and 12. They go to the wing set this time. Carlisle is your quarterback. Williams is set up on the near side. Man in motion on the near side. Gave it back to Williams to the far side. Got to the 20. Big hole. 15, 10, 5. He's going to the outside. He's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. And Robert Williams will go 22 yards for a touchdown, and Gadsden has grabbed the lead.
Larry, the hole that number 78-1 Peoples left on the Fort Payne line, you could have ran in for a touchdown.
And so Robert Williams had no trouble running. If I could run through there, Williams certainly had no trouble. And Gadsden converts first as they go 20 yards in 3 plays to grab the 6-0 lead. The extra point will be attempted by Randy Smith. Carlisle will hold it, and there's a little confusion as they're having trouble getting there. Now they're about ready. Smith will try to kick it up there. A right-footed soccer-style kicker. Snap is down. The kick is long enough. The kick is good. So with 9:57 to go in the first quarter, Gadsden leads it by a score of 7-0. You should be. Mr. Williams there as he ran first time for 11 yards, second time he carried it for 22 yards in the touchdown. So we've seen enough of Robert Williams already.
Well, 16.5 yards per carry to this point.
The Fort Payne will have it again. And actually, they don't have Randy Smith in there kicking off. They have a big number 60 in there to boot it away, and that's Larry King. And King got a foot in it, knocked it down to Alex Igo again. No, to Anthony Thompson. Thompson it is. Thompson trying to come to the near side. Got up to 15. Found a hole at the 25, 30. One man can get him at the 40. He's going to be tackled up at the 45-yard line. Anthony Thompson ran it from the 5 to the 45.
Lane Montgomery didn't go for the fake. If he had of, Anthony Thompson would have scored on it. So a good job by Montgomery.
Thompson with a 40-yard run back. Got it to the 45-yard. And a flag down. This is coming back, fellas. Well, Fort Payne making a lot of mistakes. Flag laying all the way across the field at the 22-yard line. And instead of Fort Payne having it up at near midfield, they're going to have it inside their 15-yard line after this step off. Step it off from the 22 back to the 12 probably going to be a clip-in against Fort Payne. A 12-yard penalty against Fort Payne. Clip-in half the distance, and they'll set up at the 11-yard line.
Well, we had a problem with that last week, Larry. The penalties hurt us then, and it's doing that same thing so far tonight.
Fort Payne will send Thomas Ross to the near side and Justin Pate to the far side. The I formation behind Kenny Chadwick. Chadwick will run Prater up the middle. Prater busted it off to the left side and got gang tackled after he got a yard. Not much there for Darrell Prater, as Prater hit the tackle on the far side and picked up maybe a yard.
Once again, Kenneth Alexander.
So Fort Payne trying to, they haven't gone wide yet. Everything has been at the heart of that Gadsden defense, and it just has not worked. Gadsden leads at 7-0 as Fort Payne turned it over on the second carry of the night, and Gadsden converted it for a touchdown. So here is Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage with that same set, with Pate to the near side. And Igo split off to the far side. Now Igo will come in motion to the near side. Going to pitch the ball to Darrell Prater this time. Darrell trying to get wide. Cut it to 10, slipped down behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to get by that big linebacker out there and couldn't get by him. Tried to cut it upfield, slipped down at the 10, lost a yard.
That was C.J. Taylor pursuing him. If he hadn't slipped, I think Taylor would have probably dropped him about in the same area.
So Darrell Prater is, before Payne faces a big third down play. Third down and long with 8:34 to go in the opening quarter. They already trail it 7-0. They've got to get to the 21 for a first down. Chadwick is your quarterback, and Chadwick has wide out to the far side. He rolls the pass. He has a man over the middle, way over his head. He had a man and overthrew Justin Pate by a good 5 yards. So Kenny Chadwick's first pass of the year goes incomplete, and Fort Payne will have to punt it away. And they're going to punt it deep in their own territory, so that penalty really killed the Wildcats. They could have had it up around midfield and instead got it back to the 10 on that penalty.
Fort Payne lucky Ernest Sharp was a little bit out of position, or he might have intercepted it and returned it for a touchdown. Robert
Williams will stand back around the Fort Payne 45-yard line to take this snap, and Kenny Chadwick got away a great kick. It's going to be at the midfield line, and Williams is going to take it to the 50. Williams is going to be trying to get away. Williams is going to be knocked down. Now he's still on his feet. Broke about 8 tackles, and one man can get him, and it's no contest. He's going to go all the way. Fort Payne had 5 players that had a chance to make the tackle, and he just ran away from them. They had him hemmed in at midfield, and Robert Williams goes 50 yards for the touchdown.
Larry, if you noticed on that, not a one of the Fort Payne players left their feet. They were all reaching for the guy with the ball, and they could not hand tackle that big guy.
Man, what a run. Fort Payne had every chance to tackle him, and Mr. Williams went 50 yards for the touchdown. Gadsden leads it 13-0. So Fort Payne's got an uphill battle the rest of the night. And we've seen enough of Robert Williams. Fort Payne had him hemmed in. I think they were just trying to hem him in there and somebody could get a hand on him. And he just ran through him. Kick is away. The kick is good. 8 minutes exactly to go in the opening quarter. Gadsden leads it 14-0. We'll be back in the Wildcat Sports Network.
2 releases.
Well, it's been a Robert Williams show so far tonight, as Williams has converted on 2 touchdowns. The last one, a electrifying 50-yard punt return. The Tigers lead it 14-0. We've only played 7 minutes in this quarter, in this season. King will try to kick it away again and again. Fort Payne will have Alex Igo deep. And let's see if Fort Payne can not self-destruct on this play. King got his foot into it and knocked it down the middle. It's going to be caught by Igo, who fumbles the ball. The ball's on the ground, and Gadsden may have this one. No, Anthony Thompson picked it up. And Thompson picked it up and got knocked down after the whistle blown, but Fort Payne's going to have it at the 25. So that's the best field position they've had all night.
Well, we're lucky to recover that ball. It was on the ground a good 6 or 7 yards, and luckily Thompson fell on it.
The Fort Payne will set up at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing Gadsden 14-0 with 7:55 to go in the opening quarter. It's been all Tigers, and it's been Wildcat mistakes that have cost the Fort Payne. Thomas Ross to the near side. Alex Igo to the far side. Chadwick is your quarterback. Dreyer is in there at fullback. And Daryl Prater is your tailback. Option play to the near side. Chadwick kept it himself. Got outside, got to the 30. Lowered his head and got up to the 35-yard line. Good run there by Kenny Chadwick. As Chadwick goes from the 25, they're going to mark him at about the... Well, mark him at the 29-yard line. 9-yard gain for Kenny Chadwick.
Pretty good block there in the corner by number 83, Thomas Ross, the Cobra.
Cobra was out there slinging some bones around, wasn't he? So that's a 9-yard gain for Chadwick on his first carry of the season. 2nd down in a yard for Fort. Well, they're going to bring it over here and measure. So we may have to give Chadwick a 10-yard gain if they see that he did get the first down, but looked to me like he's about a yard short. What do you think there, Roger?
I've already blown my first call of the year, and I'm not going to do it again the rest of the year.
We'll wait and see. Let them stretch out the chains and see, but I think he's going to be a little short. It is. He gained 9 yards, did Chadwick.
Bruce Burnett over there manning the flags, doing a fine job.
Doing a fine job. Now he's got to jog all the way back across the field, though. That's
Hope they got oxygen over there.
7:34 to go. Gadsden leads it 14-0, and Fort Payne struggling early as they committed a turnover the first time they had it. Gadsden responded with a 3-play drive, scored. Fort Payne had a good run back on the kickoff and called back for clipping. Couldn't do anything and punted away to Gadsden. Robert Williams ran it 50 yards for the touchdown. 2nd down and less than a yard to go for Fort Payne as the Wildcats go to the split formation again. The eye set. And in there at fullback now is Garmany. Chadwick is your quarterback. Gave it away to Prater. Darrell got his first down. Broke it across the 40, 45, up to the midfield nearly goes Darrell Prater. And Darrell goes from the 34 to the 48, a 14-yard gallop for Darrell Prater in his biggest gain of the night. Gives Fort Payne a first down and their first down of the night.
And that was the best job the Fort Payne line has done tonight blocking. That time he went behind big old number 57, Brian Jones, and we saw the results we're looking for.
Fort Payne's offense trying to get back in this game. Now they trail 14-0. Still the same set with twin receivers. Now they move Chadwick out of the backfield, put him in the tight end slot, and only have one back there. It's Prater. And back to pass goes Chadwick. Throws him in. He has a man downfield. It's Igo. Drop the football. Alex Igo was 5 yards behind the nearest defender and just flat out dropped the football. He could have walked into the end zone.
Oh, man, Larry, he was high-stepping it down through there. Just couldn't gain control of the ball. I don't know, maybe he even hit it with his knees the way he was running.
Yeah, it looked like it bounced right off his shoulder pads. That should have been a touchdown. Alex Igo was as open as a white goat on a mountainside and just dropped it. 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 48. They send Igo to the far side and slot him over there with Thomas Ross. One man in the backfield again, that is Prater. Now they're going to run the option play. Gave it up the middle to Prater. Darrell found the hole to 50, got it to 45, and on down to the 44-yard line goes Darrell Prater. So Darrell Prater ran it from his own 48 to the Gadsden 46, a 8-yard gain.
Now about 3 yards short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 3.
7-yard gain then.
It's just inside the 45.
The 3rd down and 3 for Fort Payne. 6:27 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne trails Gadsden by a score of 14-0. We may have our break for the heat after this play, as now Kenny Chadwick burns a timeout. The Fort Payne calls timeout. Timeout on the field with the score. Gadsden 14, Fort Payne nothing. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. So Fort Payne looks like they're starting to move the ball against this Gadsden team. And look here, here's Fort Payne ready to run the play. Referees have blown the whistle. Run the play there, Kenny. Run the play. Fort Payne jumped off sides. I don't believe that. Gadsden had not come on the field. The referees blew the whistle. Fort Payne had a free play, and Fort Payne had 3 offensive linemen who jumped off sides. Fort Payne, if they do it, would have run a quarterback sneak, they could score a touchdown.
All he had to do was take the center and go to the goal line.
Fort Payne offsides, and you talk about a penalty, stupid penalty. Man, that hurt. Fort Payne had a touchdown. Gadsden was still on the sideline. The officials had told them to get back on the field. They didn't come. The officials blew the ball ready for play. Fort Payne was lined up at the line of scrimmage, and Gadsden still on the sideline, and Fort Payne jumped off sides.
Now 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 now from midfield. And this will be Chadwick with a big play. Chadwick's going to roll the pass, and Chadwick is in trouble. He's going to be behind the line of scrimmage, flushed out of the pocket, running out of trouble. And he's going to be to the midfield and dove across midfield and got to the 48. 4th down and 3 now. Be a 4th down play.
Ooh, what a turnaround on that one play.
Man. And now the officials have called the timeout for the Heat so Fort Payne can think about it. And they're going to have a lot to think about when they come to the sidelines. So let's take a break with Gadsden leading Fort Payne by a score of 14-0.
Right in the bank without consulting someone from out of town. First State Bank has with 2 offices to serve you. 500 Galt Avenue South and at the North Y in Fort Payne. First State Bank, member FDIC.
Fort Payne will now kick it away, and Chadwick got away an end of wobbly kick that's going to bounce down around the 30-yard line. Got a great Fort Payne kick and bounced out of bounds at the 20. But we're still having a hard time getting over that play. I don't know if I've ever seen that in football before, where a team just didn't come out of the huddle and the team had a free play and messed it up. But got to play defense now. So here will be Gadsden, and they're going to set up at the, what is that, 21-yard line?
Yes, it's a 21.
I would think we're going to see the Robert Williams show again, as Williams has already scored 2 touchdowns. Gadsden leads it 14-0 with 5:30 to go in the opening quarter. And the Tigers will send Carlisle to the line of scrimmage, and in the backfield will be Williams and Alexander, the split formation behind Carlisle. He has a man in motion on the near side, but give it up the middle to Williams, and he got busted down. Fumble the football. Fort Payne has it. Fort Payne has it at the 22. Who hit him? Was that Jonathan Dreyer who knocked that ball loose? He racked him. You could hear those pads popping all the way up here, but Dreyer really popped him and forced a fumble, and Fort Payne will have it at the 23-yard line.
It was either Zane Hardinger or Dreyer, Larry. I really couldn't see which it was. Both of them were as happy as could be. It was one of the two. Anyway, there's a break here. Now, if we had converted that thing a minute ago, we could be going in to tie this sucker up.
So it'll be at the 23-yard line. Fort Payne trying to get back in the game. They have Garmany in there at fullback, and the quarterback under is Chadwick, and going to run his option play. Now pitches wide, ball's on the ground, ball's fumbled, and I think, Darrell Prater got it and almost incomplete. And now here's a flag. Fort Payne's going to be, and Gadsden's going to be penalized for roughing the kicker, roughing the passer, as coming in there late was that linebacker, number 42, Adrian Ragland, and he chased Kenny Chadwick all the way across the field. And roughed him. He may have roughed him a little earlier in the game. Looked like down on the other end of the field, Chadwick may have gotten roughed down there. They got him this time, so Gads, that's a big penalty. Be a half the distance step off against the Tigers. Should give Fort Payne a first down.
And they're going to mark it at about the, right on the 12-yard line.
That's a 12-yard penalty then, and gives Fort Payne a first down at the Gadsden 12-yard line. So here will be Thomas Ross to the far side. Alex Igo slotted on that far side. And Mintz is your tight end on this near side, Gary Mintz. High set this time for the quarterback Chadwick, who runs his option play, runs its reverse, gave it inside, and Igo is going to dive inside the 10, got it in maybe to the 10-yard line. Alex Igo it was who dove in there and picked up about 3 yards for Alex Igo.
The only thing that kept that play from working a little bit better is the fact that we didn't get a lot of separation along the line of scrimmage. Igo had to try to squeeze in between a couple of folks. And by that time, his momentum had been slowed.
Alex Igo's first carry of the year, and he picked up 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats as they split. Justin Pate to the far side, Alex Igo to the near side. And they have Justin Garmany in there at fullback. Darrell Prater is your tailback. Prater gets the ball, cut it inside the 10, at the 5, going to the 5-yard line, fighting for the end zone. He got to the 1-yard line, Darrell Prater did. It should be first down for Darrell Prater as he fought his way through traffic and took it from the 9 down to the 1, an 8-yard gallop for Darrell Prater. Fort Payne has it, first down and goal to go from the 1-yard line of Gadsden.
Well, the line doing much better, Larry. The last 2 series we've had the ball, the line has performed much better.
Fort Payne from the Gadsden 1-yard line trying to get back in it. They send Thomas Ross to the far side of the field. They line up in the double tight end formation. You'll line up in a power I set now with Alex Igo slotted on this far side. Darrell Prater is your tailback, and Kenny Chadwick will give it to Prater. Prater's going to dive to the 1-yard line, and he dove into the end zone. Darrell Prater.
Well, we may have took a long way around to get there, but finally we found pay dirt. And basically, we've given Gadsden everything. I know they've earned it, but they hadn't had to march the length of the field yet.
Fort Payne went 27 yards in 4 plays. Darrell Prater, the workhorse there, and Fort Payne will try to get back in it, cut it to a 7-point game, as Justin Pate will hold. Jonathan Sugar will try to tap up the extra point there to make it 14-7. 4:02 to go. The kick is away. Long enough, straight enough, good enough. 4:02 to go in the opening quarter, and Fort Payne leads Gadsden leads Fort Payne by a score of 14-7.
See a movie days a week for your convenience, then now have more copies of new releases.
Ronnie Ross, statistics starting to average out a little bit.
The blocking's picking up. The running's turning good for the Wildcats, even though they're down 14-7. Total yardage for Fort Payne is 59, just 31 for Gadsden. Of course, the defense, some breaks going our way, but it looks like the Wildcat offense picking up a little bit.
Difference in the game so far is that 50-yard touchdown run off the punt from Jimmy Williams, Jimmy Williams' brother, Robert Williams. I wonder where Jimmy Williams is now.
I don't know. He was one of the best ones I've ever seen when he was a freshman.
Kenny Chadwick will kick it away, and he got his foot into it and knocked it to the 5-yard line where Williams has it. Straight up the middle of the 10, 15. Williams going to come outside. Found a hole. Got a hole. One man can stop him, and Chadwick's going to tackle him up around the 40-yard line. If Kenny Chadwick doesn't stop Robert Williams, he's going to take it all the way. But he knocked him off his feet, and he was tackled up around the 45-yard line.
I just still say, Larry, a little too much grabbing out there.
Williams took it from the 5 to the 44, a 39-yard run, and Gadsden will be in shape, in business at the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line. And let's see if Fort Payne's defense can stop Gadsden. They forced a fumble on the last play from the big hit there. And it's going to take more hitting like that to get the football back. 3:54 to go in the opening quarter. This will be Williams coming in the near side. Got a hole 45 and tackle before he got to the midfield. That was not Williams. Let's see who that ball carrier is. That is number 27. The first time he's carried the ball tonight. And now what's happened here? An injured player for Gadsden. That was Levanto Ragland at 5'10", 175-pound junior, and he picked up about 3 yards. They have an injury across the way. So while they work on the injured player, let's take a break on the Wildcat Sports Network with Gadsden leading 14-7. So back here at Wildcat Stadium, still working with the injured player across the way. We'll try to get a number on that player. But that was Ragland who got knocked down over the... Now, it wasn't him. It happened away from the play. And the officials immediately blew the whistle. But Gadsden leads it 14-7. Gadsden still looking for their first down. Fort Payne, Ronnie, has...
Fort Payne has 3 first downs. As you said, Gadsden looking for their first down. So kind of the momentum's turning, if we can just kind of corral Robert Williams.
Well, let's talk about history here, Larry, and you've been around a long time. Kind of what is Gadsden's pattern in these early games throughout the years?
Well, they look awful, to be very honest with you. They're not a team that is at 31 is the injured player for Reginald Brinson, the 215-pound, 6-foot senior they've taken off the field over there. Gadsden, not a team that is known to be in tremendous shape. So Fort Payne, as Coach Elmore was mentioning to me down on the field, would like to get to the fourth quarter with this team and have a chance to win it in the fourth quarter. Now here is Gadsden at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 7. That's the first time any back other than Williams has carried the football. And Carlisle will send a man in motion to the far side. He's going to roll back to pass now, being pressured out there. He's going to throw the ball. He throws it. It's going to be incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver down around the 40-yard line. And Fort Payne pressured him as it looked like Dustin Hill was in there pressuring Carlisle. Forced him to throw a little early. The ball was thrown a little behind the receiver.
And it was Justin Garmany tipped the ball too, Larry.
Jawan White was the intended receiver. Garmany did tap it away. Here's a big play. Early in the game, a big play. 3rd down and 7 for Gadsden. Fort Payne could hold them here, force the punt, get the ball back. And Gadsden, they don't have Williams in the game. Alexander is in the game now. Rolling back to pass, going to give it up the middle, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That was number 27 again, and he got knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, Levante Ragland. And Williams is on the sideline during that play, and Ragland is slow getting up, but he got knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, lost a couple of yards on the play, 4th down for the Tigers.
That was Dustin Hill and Jonathan Dreyer in on him. They read that one, and they're going to have to punt.
And yeah, it's strange not to see Williams in there. I guess they're going to give him a little break, but we'll very happily trade Levante Ragland for Williams, and Fort Payne will send Prater back deep. And it will be a punt. Punter will be Luke Carlisle. He's their quarterback, and Carlisle will stand around the 30. Got a low snap, had plenty of time, and got away a great kick. Kicked it over the head of Darrell Prater, and the ball bounces to the 5 and bounces into the end zone. A great punt for Luke Carlisle. Fort Payne, though, will get the football back.
You know, the defense has tightened it up. As you said, it looks like that series for Gadsden, they may have been rested. We were looking on our stats here. Gadsden's, as a team, average yards per carry was over 10. They have dropped to 6.4, and Fort Payne has jumped to 5.9 yards per carry as a team. So it's really turning around right here.
Here is Fort Payne with a chance to tie the game. They got to go 80 yards to do it. But maybe Gadsden, really early in the game, decided they're tiring. But here is Fort Payne from the 20-yard line. Quarterback option up the middle, goes to the fullback, and he got 5 yards. Will be the big fullback, Jonathan Dreyer. They ran the quick chop trap in the middle, and Dreyer's going to be a 4-yard gain. It is for Dreyer, as he picked up 4 yards in the heart of that Gadsden defense.
Brian Jones again. They've started going behind Brian on these plays, and he is opening holes here. And our runners, because of that, are starting to move the ball. And hadn't this been about the longest quarter you can remember? Still 2 minutes to go.
Still 2 minutes to go. Fort Payne will send Igo to the near side, Pate to the far side. 2nd down and 8 from the 24. 2nd down and 6 from the 24-yard line. And this will be Darrell Prater. Prater found the hole, got across the 25, trying to break it loose and couldn't, but still got to the 28-yard line. Another 4-yard gain for Darrell Prater, and if he could have pulled away from that one man, he might have broke it up the middle. Fort Payne will be faced with a 3rd down and about 2 to go. Not quite 2 yards to go. They've got it squatted across the 28. They've got to get to the 30 for the 1st down with 1:28 to go. Need to get this 1st down and keep this drive alive. Send Thomas Ross to the far side. They set in with a double tight end formation now on a big 3rd down play. Gadsden's going to bring everybody they got. Chadwick will run up the middle, gave the ball to Dreyer. Dreyer got his 1st down, got across the 30, got to the 35-yard line. Jonathan Dreyer with good, hard running. Broke the line of scrimmage and picked up 6 yards for a 1st down.
Good balance on the part of Jonathan Dreyer. He's almost down, put his hand down, and picked up another 3 or 4 yards and got the 1st down by doing that.
Actually, he picked up 8 yards on that play. We said 6, but he actually picked up 8 yards on the play. Got it to the 36-yard line with 55 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne trails Gadsden by a score of 14-7. And the Wildcats have the ball. They're moving. Quarterback under is Chadwick. Chadwick runs his option, back to pass. He whips it up the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Intercepted it is up at the 44. Threw it right into the hands of the Gadsden defender. And there was the one White, right into the hands of White. And that's a big turnover for Fort Payne.
Well, really, that time, not a good decision. He overthrew his receiver. He just should have ate the ball on that occasion, Larry.
I thought he underthrew his. He had a man behind White, and I thought he kind of underthrew him. And
well, I'm mistaken. He did underthrow him. I meant to say that.
Intercepted by White. Gadsden has the ball at the Wildcat 44-yard line. So Fort Payne's defense called on, and there's Williams back in there. He didn't stay out but one set. Up the middle will come Alexander with his 1st carry, and he's going to be belted down after he picked up a yard or 2.
Man, that's Jonathan Dreyer again coming in on him, driving him back.
Yeah, Alexander weighs 245 pounds, and somebody stood him up, and Jonathan Dreyer came in there and drove him back. That may be the last play of the quarter.
Will Stevens, I think, initially hit him.
So this will be gain a yard. Give him 1 yard on the play, and it will be, I don't know if they're going to run another play or not. They don't have to run a play. Down to 10 seconds as they split a man to the far side 7 seconds ago. Carlisle is your quarterback with 4 seconds, and Carlisle is going to get the play off. He's not going to get a play. Nope, didn't get the play off. So that's the end of the 1st quarter. At the end of the 1st quarter, Gadsden leads Fort Payne by a score of 14-7. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Your banking needs depend on First State Bank with 2 offices to serve you. 500 Galt Avenue South, and at the North Y in Fort Payne. First State.
Here is a second down and 9 for the Tigers. Carlisle's going to pitch the ball to Williams, going to the far side. Got across the 40 and fought his way down to the 35-yard line and got tangled up with a bunch of blockers over there. And I'm not sure where the ball is, but I think it's going to be about the 36-yard line. 35-yard line, so it'll be third and yard. As Robert Williams went from the 43, picked up 8 yards on that place. It'll be third down and a yard. They mark it at the 36. Robert Williams had 2 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter. Here is Fort Payne Gadsden third down in the yard. Carlisle is your quarterback. They send a man in motion to the far side. Going to give it up the middle of Williams. Alexander got his first down, but broke it outside and got into the 30 to the 29-yard line. Is Alexander on that carry. Went from the 36 to the 29. A 7-yard gain.
That time they ran a little slant to the left side. First time for that play tonight, Larry. It was good for the first down. Wildcats are going to have to once again buckle down here if they don't fall further behind.
First down for Gadsden in this game.
That's right, it is. But here is the Tigers at the 29-yard line. Carlisle is your quarterback. The wing set, and they're going to give them the Williams coming to the near side. Williams cut it back inside, found a hole, got inside the 25, down to the 20, fumbled the football. Fort Payne says they have it, and the Gadsden players say they have it, and I think Gadsden probably got it back.
Yeah, I think it came back up in a Gadsden player's arms.
That will be where are they going to mark the ball? Mark it at the 19-yard line. Gadsden got it, and it's a 10-yard run for Williams and a first down.
It was number 3 recovering it, that being Kenneth Alexander.
Second first down of the night for the Gadsden Tigers. They have it at the Wildcat 19, and they're on the move now with 10:42 to go in the opening half. Gadsden leads it by a score of 14-7. So here is Gadsden to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback under is Carlisle, and Luke Carlisle will run his play and going to roll the pass, roll to the near side, looking downfield, being pressured, going to keep the ball, and runs by a couple of Fort Payne players and got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Good run there by Luke Carlisle as he picked up, that's his first carry of the night, and Carlisle picked up about 7 yards on that play. So Carlisle gained 7, and they mark it at the 12-yard line, and Gadsden calls a timeout. Timeout on the field with the score. Gadsden 14, Fort Payne 7. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
FDIC.
For you, stop at Bay.
Stop by the Alabama Band Fan Club at the South Y in Fort Payne for other gifts and souvenirs.
So here we're ready to go back, and just as they got ready to put the ball in play, the officials sent Brian Jones to the sideline. Then Brian Jones went back in. Now they bring him back over here. Maybe he has an equipment problem.
I think he's got a cut on his hand, and they have to bandage that up.
Well, it's number, is that 57? Yeah, that's Brian Jones.
So into the game will go Gary Wright, replacing Brian Jones. So here is a second down and 3 for the Tigers from the Wildcat 19-yard line. Man in motion to the far side. Going to give it up the middle, and this will be Williams. Williams bounced it outside, found a big hole. He's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown.
And once he cleared the line of scrimmage, he was not touched.
Robert Williams goes 19 yards for the touchdown, and Gadsden has grabbed a 21-7 lead. So Williams, he went 12 yards actually for the touchdown. So Gadsden has grabbed the lead, and that play, that drive was set up by a Fort Payne pass interception. So Fort Payne turned it over twice, and they've given up 2 touchdowns off that.
Of course, Gadsden that time ran right at the spot that Brian Jones had vacated due to the cut on the hand.
Yep. 6 plays, 43 yards, and this will be, the extra point will be attempted by Smith. The ball is snapped. The kick is in the air. The kick is good. 9:59 to go in the opening half. Gadsden now leads it by a score of 21-7. Gadsden has taken advantage of 2 Wildcat mistakes, a pass interception and a fumble, converted both of them. That's the margin they lead by, 21-7 now. Igo will be deep to get this kickoff, and they're going to kick it away. King will kick it away again. And Alex Igo, Anthony Thompson, and Crabtree it is across the way over there, David Crabtree. The Fort Payne's going to need to get a drive alive. They were moving the ball well the last time until they had the pass intercepted. Actually have more first downs than Gadsden does.
Did that interception, wasn't that on first down?
Yeah, I think. Yep, it was. So here is the kick by King, a short kick that is going to be, Igo is going to catch it up around the 20. He fumbled the football, and Gadsden probably going to have it. Gadsden has the football. Alex Igo just fumbled the ball forward, and Gadsden has it again.
Yeah, after it hit the ground, he kicked it forward, just like what happened earlier on the other end of the field. This time, Gadsden picks it up.
So Alex Igo has handled 3 punts and fumbled 2 of them. Gadsden recovers, so Gadsden will have it at the Wildcat 24. So this one is getting out of hand, boys. Gadsden will have Williams in there. Yeah, they've got Williams and Alexander in there behind Carlisle. 21-7 is the score. Carlisle is your quarterback, and Carlisle is going to roll to pass. Carlisle will be pressured now, and now he throws it across the way to Williams, and Williams is in the open over there, and Williams is going to be, I think Fort Payne is going to get a clip, as it looked to me like Anthony Thompson was clipped over there. Let's check that call.
I don't think they threw the flag on the clip, Larry. I think they threw it on a face mask.
Clip against Gadsden.
Well, I'm glad they caught that one.
Yep, and it will be a big penalty there, as Williams caught the ball, picked up about 3 yards on the play, so the pass will be complete, and they'll penalize from the point of the foul, which will be about a 15-yard penalty. But they had that set up. I'm not sure that's the play they had designed. Had Williams in the flat by himself, and Anthony Thompson was over there and got clipped. And they're going to step it back all the way to the 39-yard line, so it is a 15-yard step off against Gadsden.
Carlisle, the quarterback for Gadsden, has real good patience when he goes to throw. He does a good job of sitting back there, floating around, avoiding the rush, and he does a good job on that.
So here is 1st and 25 for Gadsden from the 40, right around the 40-yard line, and this will be Williams, and Williams is going to be hit down this time, and down he goes, as Jonathan Dreyer, along with Brian Jones and a lot of other fellows, went there to knock him down right around the line of scrimmage.
Jeremy Taylor in on that tackle, and I think he almost fumbled the ball. Kind of slowed him back down a little bit to try to recover it. By that time, they'd caught up to him, and he is dropped.
No gain that time on that play for Robert Williams. 9:04 to go on the opening half. Gadsden leads it by a score of 21-7. And this will be 2nd down and long for the Tigers. Carlisle is your quarterback, and Carlisle will fake it. Back to pass goes Carlisle, going to keep it. Got his legs chopped out from under him by Darrell Prater. If Darrell Prater didn't chop his legs out from under him, he might have picked up 10 or 12 yards. But Darrell came off that corner and just chopped the legs out from under Carlisle.
Well, actually, Carlisle had already gotten past him. I don't know how he managed to trip him up, but I think Jonathan Dreyer was kind of setting his sights on him.
Picked up a yard or 2 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and long for the Tigers, as he just picked up 1 yard on that play, did Carlisle. They've got to get it to the Wildcat 15, about there, somewhere around there. 3rd down with 8:14 to go in the half. Straight back, Carlisle going to set the screen in the middle, bat it up in the air, and Robert Williams has it, and Robert Williams has it down to the 32. Fort Payne had a chance to intercept it. Somebody knocked it up in the air, and then Williams picked it up off and picked up about, went from the 38 down to the 32, picked up 6 yards on the play.
I think it was actually Williams when his hands knocked it up in there, then he grabbed the ball.
It'll be 4th down and still about 15 for the Tigers, and look like they're going to go for it. Are they going to go for it? Yeah, they're going to go for it.
4th and 18.
So here is Fort Payne, and Gadsden's going to go for it. Going to roll up the middle, and down he goes. Well, they tried to run a trick play, I think, or maybe Carlisle fumbled the ball, but Fort Payne will have it.
It was a bad snap, Larry. They left the ball laying on the ground, so he had to come back for it. So the Wildcats get the ball on turnovers.
And Gadsden was going to run that sweep to the far side, and Fort Payne's defense stopped them right around the 32-yard line, and Fort Payne will get it. So that's a big stand by the Fort Payne offense, Fort Payne defense, after fumbling the football away to Gadsden. 7:27 to go. As many mistakes as you made, you get a touchdown here, go in maybe a touchdown down at halftime. And Fort Payne has moved the football. Chadwick is your quarterback, and Chadwick will run his option play. Gave it up the middle, now he kept it himself. He should have given it up the middle. If he'd have given it up the middle of Garmany who had blockers in front of him, but Kenny kept it himself and got snowed under behind the line of scrimmage back at the 28. Lost about 3 yards on that play.
It's one of those times when it's tough to read what to do. As you said, Larry, either or, and this time he should have went with either.
Mark him on the 29. Lost 3 yards on the play. 7:03 to go in the opening half. Gadsden leads it by a score of 21-7. Fort Payne will send Garmany to the tight end slot, and they only have one back in the backfield behind Chadwick, and it will be Darrell Prater, and Darrell Prater couldn't get outside. He got to the 30, and that's all. If he could get by this initial wave of tacklers, they're really pursuing the ball. He can take it a long way.
Seemed like they may have set up that play a little deeper in the backfield than they've been doing previously. It took them a little while longer to get up to the line of scrimmage, and by then Pursuit had caught up with him, and he just wasn't going to pick up very much yardage on that play.
Gained a yard on that one. Big 3rd down and 11 now for Fort Payne. You don't make the first down here, you got to give it back to Gadsden. Fort Payne with the wideouts left and right. The quarterback Chadwick will roll back to pass under pressure. He throws. He has a man. Mintz. It's going to be complete for the first down. Danny Mintz caught the ball up at the 40 and dove forward. That's Gary Mintz, not Danny. I don't think Danny could catch that, could he? But Gary Mintz did, and Gary caught it, dove it for the first down at the 45-yard line.
That time, Kenny Accurate threaded the needle between 2 defenders of Gadsden, and a big first down here as we're driving to halftime. The Wildcats needing to score again to pull within 1 touchdown.
So a 15-yard pass, and Fort Payne has it at the 41. A 10-yard pass it was. Fort Payne has it at the 41-yard line, first down with 5:53 to go in the half, trailing by a couple of touchdowns. Chadwick will roll the pass. He throws it across the middle. It's going to be complete across the 35, up to the 40, and all the way down to the 35-yard line of Gadsden will go
Justin Payne.
Justin Payne. Just a little look-in pass, and Payne took it from his own 41 to the Gadsden 36. And the officials have called timeout for the Heat. So timeout for the Heat. Fort Payne on a drive. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
FDIC.
Fort Payne on a drive, trailing by 2 touchdowns. They have it at the Gadsden 36-yard line. The eye set for the quarterback, Kenny Chadwick. Chadwick has hit a couple of passes, and looked like somebody jumped off sides, no flags, and Chadwick just ran the quarterback sneak. Looked like somebody jumped into the neutral zone, but no flag, and Kenny will just very wisely ran the quarterback sneak and picked up a couple of yards.
Looked like number 54, Kevin Rigby of Gadsden, moved. We didn't get a flag, and we pick up a couple of yards.
Down to the 34, from the 36 to the 34, did pick up 2 yards. 5:05 to go. The clock is moving. Fort Payne has it at the 34. They send Thomas Ross to the near side, and they put Pate in the slot on this near side. The eye set for Chadwick, who's going to pitch the ball to Darrell Prater, looking for a block outside. Got a block at the 35, 30, down the sideline, 20, 25, 20. Knocked out of bounds, down around the 15-yard line goes Darrell Prater. They knock him out at the 16-yard line. He went from the 34 to the 16, an 18-yard gallop for Darrell Prater.
And Larry, good eyesight by Darrell Prater. A lot of runners would have cut that ball back inside when they neared that sideline. Then Darrell kept it along the sideline, and by doing that, probably picked up 6 or 7 extra yards.
Fort Payne has a first down at the Gadsden 16 with 4:45 to go in the half. Clock stopped when Darrell got knocked out of bounds. And it is Fort Payne with I go to the far side and Thomas Ross to the near side. The eye set, Garmany is lined up at the fullback. Now he shifts over to the tight end. They have one back in the backfield behind the quarterback Chadwick, and that is Darrell Prater. And Prater's going to get no. Chadwick kept the ball, and it's going to be spun down way behind the line of scrimmage back at the 28. They got him at the 28-yard line, so Chadwick was thrown back in the backfield. Blocking kind of just didn't block on that play.
Well, he was setting up really deep for something there, Larry, and he just really didn't have time. Someone missed their man.
10-yard loss for Chadwick as he get it from the 16 back to the 26. Fort Payne now 2nd and 20. They've got to get to the 9-yard line for a first down. Clock not a factor yet. 4:46. Cats need a big play now. 2nd and 20 for Fort Payne. 4:07 to go. The opening half. Chadwick is your quarterback. They have wideouts left and right. It is Pate and Igo. And back to pass will go Chadwick, and he's knocked down again behind the line of scrimmage. Got knocked down at the 30. Another 4-yard loss for Chadwick. and Fort Payne is moving backwards.
So once again, it was Kevin Rigby getting him by the ankles and bringing Kenny down before he could get a pass away.
So now Fort Payne has 3rd and a mile to go. They have it on the 30-yard line. They've got to get to the 9 for the first down. 3:33 to go in the quarter. You don't get a first down here, then you're going to give the ball back to Gadsden, and boy, they moved the ball early. They've got a chance to do something with it. Fort Payne trails by 2 touchdowns as Alex Igo will split off to the near side now. And Kenny Chadwick goes back and says something to Justin Garmany, and Fort Payne is hit with a 5-yard penalty. Fort Payne not looking sharp after they got that. Completed a couple of passes and looked like they were in great shape, and they've gone backwards since then. So that'll put it back to the 35.
We're going to send Justin Pate back in.
3:12 to go in the half. And now Justin Pate will come back into the game. But Fort Payne now, they're so far enough back. If you don't get a first down, you probably got to punt the ball. Can't go for it on 4th down. Now you've gotten out of range. So here is the quarterback, Kenny Chadwick, and Chadwick has the eye set behind him, and he's going to roll the pass, being pressured again, sets the screen, and down goes Prater behind the line of scrimmage. They read that, and Rory Jones couldn't get a block out here. If Rory Jones could have got a block on his man, Chadwick, Darrell Prater may have scored.
Well, apparently Reginald Brinson recovered from his injury earlier because he is the one that made that tackle.
Well, that pass lost 10 yards. So pass from Chadwick to Prater lost 10. And Fort Payne is back at the 45-yard line after starting the drive on the 16. And they're going to kick it away. High snap. Chadwick went up and got it and got away a great kick that Williams is going to let bounce in the end zone. So Fort Payne had a first down at the 16-yard line and wound up putting it into the end zone. So not a very good drive by Fort Payne.
Well, penalties again, and of course, what, 3 sacks during that series?
Yep. Had it on the 16, and from the time they had it on the 16-yard line, Chadwick got sacked for 10, got sacked for 4. They got a 5-yard penalty, and then the pass completion was good for a minus 10 yards. So here is Gadsden with plenty of time. They've only used 1 timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and they've got 2.5 minutes to see if they can go 80 yards. This will be Williams to the far side. Got across the 20, got across the 25, working his way outside the 30, got to the 35, got down that far sideline. He's going to be marked out of bounds at the 33.
He was finally knocked out of bounds on that side, Larry, by Zane Hardinger.
So he picked up 13 yards in a hurry, and not much time ran off the clock. 2:18 to go now. And here is Gadsden in a hurry to the line of scrimmage, even though the ball was out of bounds. So the Tigers, and Carlisle goes back and says something to the officials have called timeout on themselves for some reason. I think they had trouble with the chains across the way. Now they're ready.
I think Darrell Thompson left his mouthpiece on the ground.
Motion man to the near side, and Carlisle will run it back to pass, being pressured by Wright. Got away from Wright. Now throws it, going to be incomplete. Dropped it up around the 43-yard line. Carlisle showed a lot of speed as he came out of there. Got away from Gary Wright and whipped it up the field, and Lane Montgomery couldn't handle it. It'll be 3rd down for the 2nd down for the Tigers. They got a first down on that last play. Wayne Montgomery dropped it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. Still 2:07 to go in the half. Fort Payne could use another turnover from the Tigers. Gadsden has 1 turnover, and Fort Payne has 3 turnovers. Motion man to the far side. Going to give the ball up the middle to Williams, coming this near side. Williams broke another tackle, got across the 40, got to the 45. Oh, bulled his way across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Picked up, got it, where are they going to mark it? They're going to mark him at the 48, 15-yard gallop by Robert Williams.
And Rory Jones had a chance to drop him for a loss.
Injured player for Gadsden, and we'll just take a timeout here while they treat the injured player. Gadsden leads it with 1:59 to go. Gadsden leads it 21-7. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. So Gadsden player is still down on the field, and he has cramps, it looks like. And And that injured player is number 51, Jeremy Robinson, a 6'1", 240-pound senior. Ronnie, have some stats for us there?
Well, you know, we talked about how the stats were kind of evening out, I guess, you know, in the first quarter. Well, unfortunately for the Fort Payne offense, they've dropped severely. I believe you have a stat sheet. I think we were up to over 6 yards per carry at one time.
Yeah.
Almost. And unfortunately, the offense has kind of stalled, and we've dropped to 4.2 yards per carry total offense.
How many total yards we have? We had 75 into the quarter.
Our total yardage right now is 107. Gadsden is 120.
So the Tigers starting to gain control of this as they get Robinson off the field with that cramp. He'll probably be back second half. A minute 59 to go in the first half, with Gadsden leading it by a score of 21-7. And now we're ready to go as the officials start the clock back up. And we'll try to get some stats for you on Mr. Williams in just a minute. But Williams is in there now, along with Alexander. The quarterback is Carlisle. They send a man in motion to the near side, and Carlisle will run it up the middle. Kept it himself, going to throw the ball on a penalty play. Kept it himself, got across the 50, got down to the 45, and Dreyer knocked him down. Well, let's check the penalty. Gadsden may have been in motion. Yeah, they were in motion. They had looked like that back turned up field before the play was ever started, and they're going to be penalized 5. So that's so how many penalties against Gadsden now?
Well, actually, we're all even, number-wise and yardage-wise. Both teams have 3 penalties for 32 yards.
They stepped this one back 5 yards, back to the 43-yard line. And Gadsden will start all over again, a minute 36. The clock is moving. So I think more than anything, that penalty cost them some precious seconds. Down to a minute 29. They still have 2 timeouts left. Carlisle is your quarterback. Split formation behind him, and Carlisle is going to roll to the far side. Gave it to Williams. Got across the 40, 45. Got up to near the 50 and got knocked down. Looked like Brian Jones was one of the players in there to knock him down, along with Dreyer, as Williams ran it from the 43 across the 45 to the 48. So a 5-yard gain for Williams. And it is second down, and now the officials have called timeout for some reason. Why they call timeout? Called the timeout on themselves. Want to get
They're exchanging football.
You think there was some sweat got on that football?
That run right there was the 9th carry for Robert Williams. That put him over 100 yards. He's got 103 already.
Big night for Robert Williams. Glad he's a senior. The clock is running, though. Gadsden, they look like they're a tired bunch out there. 48 seconds. Of course, they lead it by 2 touchdowns. So here is Gadsden. Down to 42 seconds to go. Carlisle will run Williams to the far side. Got across the 50, got to the 45, and got knocked out of bounds down around the 43-yard line. He went from his own 48 to the Fort Payne 43. 9-yard gain for Williams on that play. Somebody's playing with our microphone down on the side.
Well, there was a guy carrying some kind of flutophone or something, went by and hit it for the band.
Flutophones are not good. Did Gadsden call a timeout? No, Williams got out of bounds, I guess, at the 43. 34 seconds to go in the half. And Fort Payne Gadsden in an eye set for one of the few times tonight. And they're going to pitch the ball to Williams. And Williams is going to be at the 50, 45. Got across the 40, cut it field, cut it back, and got hammered down and stood up and knocked down. Gang tackling there by Fort Payne. They knocked him down at the 37. Gadsden burns a timeout with 24 seconds to go in the half.
Well, Will Stevens grabbed onto him and just wouldn't let him go.
He went from the 43. Now they start the clock back again to the 37. A 6-yard gain by Williams, but the clock is running. I thought Gadsden called timeout. I don't know why they ever stopped the clock to start with. Now down to 12 seconds. This is first down for Gadsden. Stopped it because it's a first down. Carlisle wants to throw, throws it across the middle. He has a man wide open, and the pass is caught for the touchdown. I don't know how you get that wide open, and there's a cramp. Got by Kenny Chadwick, and number 14, that was, who was that? Was that 14, Ernest Sharp that caught him?
Yes, that's who it was, Larry, Ernest Sharp.
Gadsden players are really out of shape. They've got a couple of players laying down on the field, but that's Just another mistake there.
Well, Kenny kind of just got turned around on the play. I don't know what happened.
36-yard pass completion from Carlisle to Ernest Sharp. So is that the first completion of the night for Carlisle?
It's the second completion. Attempted 4, completed 2.
1 for a touchdown and 36 yards, 19 seconds to go. So they're waiting on the Sharp to get cramp out of his legs. 10, that drive was 10 plays. And they score with 19 seconds to go to take a 3-touchdown lead. But 80 yards in 80 yards in a minute and a half, Roger. Pretty impressive. All of it on the ground except for that one pass.
Well, you said, Larry, when they got the ball back with just around 2.5 minutes to go, there was still plenty of time for Gadsden. And even though really they scored on a fluke play, you were right.
And still, I guess they're waiting, trying to get Sharp off the field over there. But it's 27-7 now, Gadsden, and Fort Payne's going to have a long way to come back. I thought if they could keep it at 21-7 and maybe get a break in the second half, maybe get a touchdown or so, get back in this thing. But it's going to be hard to come back now from being down 3 touchdowns. Smith will try to tack on point number 28 with 19 seconds to go and see if he can do it. Ball is snapped back. The kick is in the air. The kick is long enough. The kick is good. 19 seconds to go in the half. Gadsden leads it by a score of 28-7 back on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Street and 5.
That was a big touchdown as Gadsden scored with 19 seconds to go in the half, and Fort Payne is going to have a long way to go to get back in this one.
Actually, that's 1.9 seconds.
Is that 1.9?
Yes.
It is 1.9. Man, that makes it even worse. I wish you hadn't told me that.
I'm sorry, Larry.
So, on the long pass, so if Fort Payne could have just tackled him before he got to the end zone, or if he'd got that cramp on the 5-yard line and fallen down, they wouldn't have scored. But 1.9 seconds to go in this half, and Gadsden has scored to make it 28-7. Now they'll kick it away again as King is there ready to tee it up. Now this is going to be Smith to kick it away. And Smith kicked it straight up in the air. It's going to be caught on the far side by Thomas Ross. Fumbled again. Picked up there by Anthony Thompson. Anthony Thompson trying to get outside as the horn sounds. He's going to be up to the 33 as the leads Fort Payne by a score of 28-7. Ronnie, those halftime stats favor the Tigers as well as the score.
It really does. Of course, outstanding running back, number 35, Robert Williams for Gadsden, 11 carries, 118 yards, 10.7 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns already. As a team, the Gadsden Tigers rushing for 7.5 yards per carry, 19 carries, 134 yards. For the Fort Payne Wildcats, Darrell Prater, 9 carries for 66 yards for a 7.3 average and 1 touchdown. First downs are even at half, 6 each for Fort Payne and Gadsden. Also, likewise for penalties, 3 on each side, 32 yards on each side. Passing department, Kenny Chadwick, 8 attempts, just 3 completions for 27 yards and 1 interception. 37.5% passing efficiency. Luke Carlisle for the Gadsden Tigers, 2 for 4, 42 yards and 1 touchdown. He's at 50%. Total offense for Fort Payne, 107. Total offense for the Gadsden Tigers at 176.
Turnovers have been a difference, Roger. Fort Payne had 3 turnovers. Gadsden had 1. The Tigers converted 2 of Fort Payne's turnovers into touchdowns. So turnovers have been a big difference.
Larry, it was a real quirky first half. It lasted forever. There was turnovers. There were botched plays. We had a free touchdown given to us, and we didn't take it. Yep. So what else could happen? Maybe the second half will have more of the same, except on the other side of the dollar bill.
And Gadsden's going to get the football as we start this second half. The Tigers and Coach DeLorenzo is out there talking to the referees, and I'm not sure what that conversation would be about, but his team leading by a score of 28-7. And Coach Elmore had told us before the game that this could very well be the best team Fort Payne would play all year. And it certainly looked like it. They haven't let us down any, have they? They've lived up to their billings, but the Wildcats have not played poorly. Take away those turnovers and stupid plays.
Yeah, it has really been that. And I don't know, maybe DeLorenzo was telling the officials to watch out for his players. They're going to be on the ground more than they're standing the second half, the way they were falling that first half.
We're going to have some injuries, I'm afraid, for the Gadsden Tigers. We're still a ways away from the kickoff, as this Gadsden, they're going out for the opening for the second half. So let's go ahead and just take another break as we get ready for the second half kickoff. We'll be back with the score at halftime, 28-7.
High in Fort Payne. First State Bank, member FDIC.
Gadsden has the option, so they're going to take the football as we start this second half. The Tigers are out there. Fort Payne is out there ready to go. And so Gadsden will get the football, leading by a score of 28-7. And if Fort Payne is going to have any chance at all of getting back in this game, they're going to need to stop the Tigers on this drive. Stop it and get something back. So we're ready to go the second half. Everybody seems to be ready to go. Kenny Chadwick tees it up at the 35-yard line. And Gadsden will send Robert Williams back at his own 5. 28-7 is the score, with Gadsden comfortably out front. Now they move the ball up to the 40-yard line, since we're playing high school football and not college. And Kenny Chadwick will kick it from the 40. So everybody's ready to go now. There's the whistle. So let's get this second half underway. Wildcats will be on the road next week at Cherokee County. Chadwick hit a good kick, knocked it down to the 10-yard line, where Williams is going to have it. He's back up the middle of 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, down this far near sideline at the 40, 45, 50, 40-yard line, cut it back across field, ran over one of his own players, ran over another player, still on his feet, and it's going to be finally tackled at the 38-yard line. Man alive. Robert Williams, we couldn't tackle him, and his own team couldn't tackle him. They hit him about 3 times, but Robert Williams took it from his own 8-yard line to the Wildcat 33-yard line. An electrifying run by Robert Williams.
Well, he gained a lot of it. I don't know how electrifying actually it was, Larry.
It'll be to the 37-yard line. Yard line is where they're going to put it. Fort Payne. So here is Gadsden threatening already. And Gadsden moved across the line of scrimmage. The Tigers moved, and they're going to be penalized 5 yards. That's going to help Fort Payne's feelings a little. Fourth penalty of the night against Gadsden. Is that right, Ronnie?
That's right. 4 penalties for Gadsden, 37 yards. It's still just 3 for Fort Payne for 32 yards.
54-yard return on that last kickoff. Now here's Gadsden first and 15. They're going to give it to Alexander. Alexander across the 40 down to the Wildcat 35. He got the 5 yards that they lost back, and plus he picked up about 3 more. Picked up a couple more. 1 more. Picked up a total of 6 yards. So Alexander, he hadn't carried the ball much tonight, has he?
No, actually, it's pretty much been Williams show up to this point, and I guess that's really all you need.
Alexander's 3rd carry.
So here will be Fort Payne on defense now, as Carlisle will get his team to the line of scrimmage, and Carlisle is going to run Williams to the inside, and Williams got his feet knocked out from under him, and down he goes. Fort Payne did a good job of hemming him up before he got started on that play.
Dustin Hill broke through the line of scrimmage and almost brought him down in the backfield. He still had the leg strength to push forward for about a 4-yard gain on the play.
Actually picked up a couple of yards on that play. So a 2-yard gain for Williams will bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Gadsden Tigers. They've got to get to the 29 for the first down. They're at the Wildcat 30, just inside the 35. On a 3rd down play, but they're probably going to go for it on 4th down if they don't make it. Carlisle looks over that Wildcat defense, and Carlisle will run it back. Gave it to Williams on the reverse, coming to this near side. They gave it on the inside reverse, and down he goes in the backfield, Ernie Sharp. Sharp got knocked down right along the line of scrimmage, may have dove forward for a yard.
Good job by Branton Middlebrooks, number 61, coming from the other side to make the tackle. And it'll bring up a 4th down. Will they go for it, or will they punt?
I think they're going to go for it as Sharp gained 3 yards on that play. Down to the 33-yard line of Fort Payne. They're going to go for it on 4th down and a good long 5, maybe 6 yards.
And they bring DeJuan White back into the game, and he'll be split to the near side.
They haven't punted tonight, so why should they punt this time? And now they're ready to go on a 4th down play. Carlisle is your quarterback. Fort Payne has stopped them once on a 4th down play. Carlisle will pitch the ball to the far side to Williams. And Williams is outside. Williams is trying to get his first down, and I think he got it. He was knocked down right around that marker over there. Anthony Thompson came up, made a good play, and Gadsden just had too many players over there, and they were able to knock him out of the play. There comes a train right up the 50-yard line.
He did not get the first. He is way short of the first down, Larry. If you mark
flag down, there's a flag laying there. Check that penalty marker.
And Gadsden appears to be waiting around to see. They're going to have to back up.
I think he got the first down, yet there's going to be a penalty on them. Let's check it.
And it's a hold.
Against Gadsden. Decline, it'll be Fort Payne's ball. Did not get the first down. So Williams is going to be tackled short of the first down. Fort Payne will get it at the, where are they going to mark it? Boy, they're marking him in, I don't understand this. They're marking him, okay, they're marking him at the, finally they're going to mark him at the 29-yard line. Picked up 4 yards then. So Fort Payne will get it. And that's a good job by Fort Payne as they send Ross to the near side, White out to the far side. Now they're going to run up the middle of Dreyer. Dreyer found the hole, got to the 35, got to the 40, and is on up to the 43-yard line. That was Dreyer as they mark him well short of the 40 at the 38-yard line. But Michael Dreyer on a good hard-nosed run. He went from the...
He picked up 9 yards on the play.
Yep, 9 yards for Michael Dreyer. They're going to mark him at the 38-yard line.
Jonathan Dreyer.
It is Jonathan Dreyer, isn't it? When did he change his name?
I think Michael's still down at Alabama. He may have graduated.
Yeah, he did. 2nd down and a yard for Fort Payne. Chadwick will be your quarterback. Dreyer again got his first down across the 40 to the 41.
Looks like our philosophy now, Larry, is going to be to try to have a long drive going right up the middle instead of trying to pick up large chunks. Looks like we're going to try just to have a good, long, sustained drive.
Dreyer picked up 3 yards to the 42, so that suits me. First down, Fort Payne. Another first down for the Wildcats. They send Thomas Ross to the far side. Alex Igo to the near side. And they go into the I set with Dreyer at fullback and Darrell Prater at the tailback position. Chadwick will fumble the football, and the ball's on the ground. Kenny Chadwick came out from under the center before the ball was ever snapped. I think it's going to be a dead ball foul, illegal procedure against Fort Payne.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was going on. Kenny was a couple of yards back, just holding out like begging for the ball, and they never would center it. So might have been a break. We got the penalty.
5-yard step off against the Wildcats, and it'll be 1st and 15. Actually, Fort Payne has stopped themselves tonight. The night times they've been stopped, they had a couple of penalties and then the pass interception that hurt. So Gadsden's defense not really buckled down and stopped Fort Payne tonight. Here's the 1st and 15 now. And they're going to run Prater to the far side. Found a hole, cut it back inside 40, 45 down his far sideline, and across the midfield to the 49-yard line of Gadsden. If he could have gotten one block, he would have been loose down this sideline. But instead, they mark him up to the Gadsden 49-yard line. He went from the 37, a 12-yard gallop by Darrell. That's actually a 14-yard run by Darrell Prater.
Adrian Ragland, the only thing that stopped him from scoring, so he come up and grabbed him.
So Darrell goes for 14 yards. Fort Payne has it at the 49-yard line of Gadsden, and the Tigers call a timeout. Timeout on the field with the score. Gadsden 28, Fort Payne 7. Gadsden called this timeout. Coach Vince DeLorenzo called this timeout. Fort Payne in the midst of a drive, trailing by 3 touchdowns. They have 2nd down and a yard. Ball nose just across midfield for Fort Payne with 7:51 to go in this game. If Fort Payne could get a couple of touchdowns and get this thing into the 4th quarter, who knows what might happen. Strange things happen when these two teams get together. Here is 2nd down and a yard, one back in the backfield, and Chadwick will throw the ball. Kenny Chadwick is in trouble, and Chadwick spins out of trouble, got across the 50, got to the 45, and is going to spin away at the 40, got his first down to the 39-yard line. Kenny Chadwick went racing off to the far sideline and did a great job of evading the Gadsden tacklers and got a first down to the 39-yard line of Gadsden. And Chadwick is awfully slow getting up. but so are a couple of Gadsden players.
I believe it could be a cramp with Kenny the way he's doing his right, acting toward his right leg.
And a first down for Fort Payne as Chadwick goes from the 12-yard scamper for Kenny Chadwick down to the 38. And who's our quarterback now?
Should be 10, Justin Pate.
It is Justin Pate, any quarterback. So here is Justin Pate's first snap of the year. And Pate will do the smart thing and pitch it to Prater. 40, 35, but 30 down to the 25-yard line. Broke a tackle, got it on down to the 23-yard line. Goes Darrell Prater. Prater goes from the 39 to the 24. 15-yard gallop for Darrell Prater.
And a guy from Gadsden was leveled by Darrell Prater, and he's still on
down.
the ground.
Gadsden has a player down, so let's take another break. As Gadsden has another player down, we'll take another break with Fort Payne trailing by a score of 28-7. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Fort Payne driving on the Tigers and didn't catch a number on that injured Gadsden player.
It was number 60.
So he's out of the play. Fort Payne will send Thomas Ross to the far side.
That was Larry King, number 60.
He's a guy that's been doing the kickoff for Fort Payne. Fort Payne still has Pate in there at quarterback, and they have Prater in at fullback, and gave up the middle to Dreyer at the fullback, and he got to the 20-yard line. Tried to run that little trap play, and Dreyer got it down to the 21 is where they mark it, a 3-yard gain for Dreyer. Before Payne mixing up their plays nicely right now.
See, I guess Kenny Chadwick's still not in the game, is he?
Now they're still working on him down here. I don't know if that's a cramp the way they're working on that leg. They got a lot of folks gathered around him, so if it's a cramp, he's getting an awful lot of attention down there. Here's a 2nd down and 7 for Justin Pate in directing this offense for Fort Payne. And Pate will pitch the ball to Prater. Prater cut it back in, got to the 20, got inside the 15 to the 10-yard line, and bulls his way all the way down to the 7-yard line. He showed a little strength on that play.
I think that was about a 3-cramp run there, the way Gadsden's reacted.
14-yard gain for Darrell Prater.
Gadsden's having people just wobbling all over the field.
So 14 more yards for Darrell Prater. Puts him over the line, over the 100-yard mark, and back in comes Kenny Chadwick.
And they got to get Rufus Watson off the field.
If he can make it off. And there will go Thomas Ross off to the far side of the field. First, Fort Payne has a first down and goal from inside the Gadsden 10. They have to call timeout. And Gadsden burns their second timeout. With 6:06 to go in the third quarter, Gadsden has already used 2 of their timeouts. Fort Payne on a drive, trailing though 28-7 back on the Wildcat Sports Network. On the 38-yard line, Fort Payne is now at the Gadsden 7. First down and goal to go. The Tigers have called 2 timeouts in this Wildcat drive. Prater will give it up the middle. Now pitches the ball to Prater to the far side. 10, 5, touchdown, Darrell Prater. As Kenny Chadwick ran the counter option play, pitched the ball to Darrell Prater, and Prater took it in the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Kenny is still limping though as he comes off the field, but Darrell Prater cut to the outside toward that outside corner, and no one touched him.
8 plays that drive was. So Fort Payne back in the game with 5:59 to go in the third quarter. And Sugar will try to kick the extra point as Alex Pate will stick it up there. Fort Payne now trails 28-13. The ball is snapped. The kick is in the air. The kick is long enough. The kick is good. 5:59 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne now trails at 28-14. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. Kenny Chadwick down here on the sideline. A lot of folks gathered around him, so don't know if that's a cramp or what that is. But, Roger, they're not working on him like it's a cramp.
No, they're not doing it, Larry. I really don't see anyone massaging. They're looking at around that knee area.
So Jonathan Sugar will be in there to kick it away. And Fort Payne has gotten themselves back in the game now. If they could just get a turnover and pull this thing to within 7 as we start into this fourth quarter, you kind of like the Wildcats' chances, don't you? Sugar will kick it away. And he got his toe in it, squibbed it, and it's going to be caught down around the 32. That's probably about as good as we could do.
Absolutely, Larry.
So Gadsden will have it at their own 32-yard line after the squib kick by Jonathan Sugar. Fort Payne's defense is going to be called on here. But look at those big old Gadsden linemen. They sure are moving awfully slow out there. Gadsden's going to be a good team later on in the year when conditioning doesn't really mean a whole lot. But they could be had early in the season. And Carlisle is your quarterback. Robert Williams is in there, and they send the man in motion to the far side. Carlisle is going to give it up. He'll keep it himself. Got it, trying to get outside. Got to the 30 and got up to the 35-yard line. Carlisle picked up about 2 yards. He's pretty quick, but the Fort Payne defense just shifted out there with him and limited Luke Carlisle to about 3 yards.
Well, that time Carlisle did not have the blocking of his teammates, and Jeremy Taylor was able to bring him down after a 2.5-yard gain.
5:35 to go in the third quarter. 28-14 in favor of Gadsden. And second down for the Tigers. They send the man to the near side, Juwan White, and they put Ernie Sharp on the slot on the far side, and they're going to give the ball up the middle, and Williams is going to bust it outside, got to the 40. It'll be third down and about 5. That was Robert Williams on another carry, and it will be third down for Gadsden and about 4 or 5 when they sort it out down there. They're going to give him a 3-yard gain, put it up to the 39-yard line, third down and 4, let's call it. Big play by the defense. You stop them here and get back in this game in a hurry. So here is a big momentum building play in this game. Third down and about 4 for the Tigers. They've got to get to the 42. Carlisle is your quarterback, and Carlisle will run up the middle of Williams, and Williams is going to be spinning outside. I don't know, I think he got it. He's right at the marker, and it depends on the spot, but he got close enough to get the first down, go for it on fourth down if they didn't get it.
Left foot, right foot?
I don't know. It's a first down spot, whatever they did. So Williams picked up 4 yards in the first down. Mark him at the 44. Gadsden picks up another first down with 4:14 to go. And now they're still in the huddle. Now they come up to the line of scrimmage. They send to the near side. They send White. Put a man in the slot on the far side. Back to pass. Throws it down this far side. Lobbing it down here. The ball's going to be knocked in the air. Incomplete. And that ball could have been caught. Fort Payne's defensive backs not really doing a very good job on that play. Justin Garmany was the one that got beat, but that ball, Sharp just dropped that one.
Yeah, we saw that happen a couple of times over in Guntersville when we played Boaz last week.
Yep, Gadsden may want to come back to that because Justin Garmany didn't play that very well, and Sharp really, I think, should have caught that ball.
Well, a couple of good things, though. It stopped the clock, and it wasted a down.
Yep. They're working on Kenny Chadwick's, what is that down there? It looks like a cramp now. They're working on his calf. Got about 8 people down there working on him, so...
right calf, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it is a cramp. Here's a second down and 10 for Carlisle. Carlisle may just give it back to Williams a couple of times now. And this will be to the far side. That's not Williams, but he got across the 35-40. Got knocked down. Boy, he got hit. He got knocked down around the mid-50-yard line, and who hit him?
That is Jonathan Dreyer.
Man alive, he knocked him down. That was number 13 on the carry. First time we've seen him carry the ball tonight. Chris Yao, is that who that was, 13?
Yeah, it was number 13,
he's going out now.
Yao saying wow about now after the way he leveled
Picked up 7 yards, and Jonathan Dreyer really knocked him down right at midfield. Third down and 3, another big play for the Fort Payne defense. Gadsden converted on the last play. See if Fort Payne can stop him on this one. Carlisle looks back there and says something to Williams. And Carlisle will give the ball to Williams up the middle, and Williams is going to be short of the first down. I think he's going to be close, but he'll be about a yard short, and downfield another Gadsden player is down with the cramps. One of those big offensive linemen is laying down there with the cramps, and it'll be fourth down and a yard when we get through working on these Gadsden players. And it'll be fourth down. They'll go for it. I would imagine they haven't punted all night, so why should they now? They look like they may be sending a punting team in. Carlisle, Carlisle's back in punt formation. So let's see if they do, in fact, kick it away. Darrell Prater will go deep, and I think they're going to kick it away, if for no other reason, the fact that they keep losing players from the cramps on every play. And there's a snap, and Gadsden's going to be penalized. They had a man coming off the field, and he whistled it into the end zone. Well, Carlisle got his foot into that one. and knocked it all the way into the end zone, and I would think Fort Payne's just going to go ahead and decline the penalty, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
He kicked that ball 60 yards in the air and landed in the end zone. Fort Payne will decline the penalty and get the ball in the 20. It was actually would be accredited with a kick for a 47-yard kick, but he actually punted the ball from back his own 40, and it sailed in the end zone. And what are we going? We're going to make him kick it again.
Make him re-kick. Maybe they want him to run down the field.
There are 2 penalties down. They may not have a choice. Or maybe one of them's an illegal procedure against Gadsden. Well, it's an illegal, but we're going to make him kick it again.
Apparently so. I guess they want these players to have to run down the field again.
Well, maybe we think he can't, surely can't kick it that far again. So let's see. Carlisle, no wind, and he is whistled that ball out of there. You remember the first time they kicked the ball, he got a bad snap, but he was able to go up and get it. So maybe Fort Payne thinks they might can block a kick. Carlisle will kick it from about his own 35. Snap is good. Fort Payne not coming after him. This is not nearly the kick, and Darrell Prater is going to catch it at the 15-yard line. He got back to the 20, up to the 25, 25, 30, to the 35-yard line goes Darrell Prater. So that was a great call by Coach Elmore and his staff, as Fort Payne picked up about 16 yards on the play.
Lane Montgomery, number 7, made the tackle along the sideline, or he was going to be gone.
So Darrell Prater ran it from the 20 back to the 37-yard line. Fort Payne in business at the 37. And Gadsden has a couple more players limping around out there. Well, if we can drive this ball down the field now and get another touchdown here, we might see some funny things happen in this fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, if you go in the fourth quarter only down a touchdown, you're well into the game.
Chadwick is back in at quarterback.
Yep. Fort Payne has wide out to the near side. That's Thomas Ross. They have Dreyer in there at fullback. Kenny may be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And Kenny Chadwick run his option play. Gave it to Dreyer. Dreyer to 40. Dreyer to 45. Down the near side on 50 and got knocked out of bounds in midfield. And a flag down. And he got a face mask there. And that'll be another 15-yard step off. But a 13-yard run by Dreyer and then a 15-yard step off against the Tigers for a face mask.
Yeah, you can see Dreyer's head come backwards all of a sudden where they grabbed him from behind. And that'll be a big one.
Dreyer goes for 13 to midfield, and then another 15-yard penalty against the Tigers will put Fort Payne down around the Gadsden 35. So the Wildcats bidding to get right back in it with 2:11 to go in the third quarter. They trail 28-7 at halftime, have already scored 1 touchdown, and now trying to score another one.
And it's on the 34.
2:11 to go. Fort Payne in a hurry to the line of scrimmage. They have Chadwick in there. They put Dreyer at tight end now. They have a double tight end formation, only one back in the backfield, and that is Darrell Prater. And Darrell Prater will get the flood. That's Anthony Thompson. Thompson had a big hole. 35 down to the 25-yard line goes Anthony Thompson. And Anthony Thompson with his first carry of the night. He wasn't really ready. He was still trying to get his helmet snapped, and they snapped the ball, and it looked like a delay there and kind of threw the Gadsden players off. And Anthony Thompson went all the way down to the 22, 12-yard gain for Anthony Thompson.
Brian Jones doing a little bending there like he might be trying to tighten up a little bit.
First down for Fort Payne, another first down for the Wildcats. They send Pate to the near side, and they send Igo to the far side. Now Dreyer is your fullback. Anthony Thompson is in there at tailback. The quarterback under is Chadwick. And Kenny Chadwick will run his option play. Gave it to Dreyer. Dreyer busted into 20, 15, 10, 5. And Dreyer's going to go to touchdown. Dreyer. 22-yard run by Michael Dreyer.
I'm telling you
Jonathan Dreyer it is.
Jonathan Dreyer, not Michael. But really, Gadsden is really looking like they're about to drop the whole team.
Yeah. Dreyer goes 22 yards. Fort Payne goes 67 yards in 3 plays. And look out there. They've still got a guy. They've got a guy standing back behind our kicker, grabbing his legs with a cramp. He can't even get off the field.
And there's a timeout. I think officials have blown the timeout.
Going to have to get the forklift out there to get him off the field. And it's 28-20 with a minute 35 to go in the third quarter.
Fort Payne over 200 yards rushing for the game now. 207. Gadsden still stuck at 164. So the tide is turning. It does look.
Fort Payne went 67 yards in 3 plays. And Jonathan Dreyer went 22 and 13 of those. They picked up a 15-yard penalty in there too, but Fort Payne right back in this game. Now they're ready to kick it up there. Jonathan Sugar will kick it up, and Justin Pate will hold it. The snap is good. The kick is away. The kick is good. A minute 35 to go in the third quarter. All of a sudden, it is a one touchdown game.
Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker, I think, against Gadsden.
They'll step off 15 yards on the kickoff here. We'll be back with Fort Payne now trailing by a touchdown, 28-21. Gadsden game's just a typical Fort Payne Gadsden game, right?
Absolutely. They say history don't repeat itself. Well, it does every year when these two teams play.
These games are always classics. When Gadsden got ahead 28-7, you just felt that something was going to happen because the Fort Payne was going to get back in it, because they always do. Nobody ever blows anybody else out. 15-yard step off against the Tigers on the, they'll step it up to the Gadsden 45, and Kenny Chadwick will kick it away, and I would think just kick it as far as you can, kick it in the end zone. Don't give them a chance to run it back. Fort Payne has everybody lined up on this side. Are they going to go for the onside kick? Surely they wouldn't. I think Kenny Chadwick, they're lined up for the onside kick. And I guess, why not? See what happens here. Fort Payne's going to go for the onside kick. Chadwick has it lined up over there, going to go for the onside kick with a minute 35 to go in the third quarter.
Actually, Gadsden's having to call another timeout.
Gadsden calls timeout.
Not enough players on the field.
That is their last timeout. Gadsden led it 28-7 at halftime. It's now 28-21 with a minute 35 to go. Fort Payne lines up for the onside kick. Gadsden burns their last timeout, and the Tigers are in disarray right now. Everything going Fort Payne's way. We'll just hold it right here and talk about all the good things that are happening to Fort Payne. Got to be pleased if you're Coach Elmore right now.
Absolutely, and you have to wonder if maybe him getting in that formation wasn't just something to cause them just to burn the timeout. Maybe it's a strategy.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do the onside kick down here.
Yeah, you can't lose much yardage because you're already on their 45.
Trainer is out there talking to Kenny Chadwick, and I think they're trying to decide if they're going to let him go ahead and kick it, and he is. And now Gadsden still trying to figure out what is going on here. We came up here last year, and we had the ball. You remember last year they had the ball down on our 1 yard line with about a minute and a half to go, and all they had to do was sneak it into the end zone for the touchdown. They fumbled it, and we went 97 yards. And now they had a 28-7 lead this year, and it's 28-21 now. Fort Payne was trying to onside kick it with a minute 35 to go in the third quarter. And Gadsden still doesn't believe they're on an onside kick it. Kenny Chadwick will kick away when the referee blows his whistle. And there's the whistle. Yep, and here he comes. It is an onside kick. The ball is bouncing, and the ball is loose. Fort Payne didn't. Who got it? Gadsden may have gotten it. They had a chance, Fort Payne did. Fort Payne had a chance to get it, and Gadsden got it. Yep, Gadsden got it. But Fort Payne had a chance. The ball was loose. And it looked like a Gadsden player dove in there and got it.
Well, it didn't go 10 yards, but it did bounce off a Gadsden player.
Gadsden will have it at the 36. So here comes Gadsden from their own 36, and Fort Payne was that far away from getting that ball. Now the referee is telling the Fort Payne bench to move back. A minute 31, and if I'm Coach Vince De Lorenzo, I'm going to turn around and give that ball to Robert Williams 100 times now. So here is, if Robert Williams is in good enough shape to take it 100 times, here is Carlisle in there. Carlisle is going to give the ball to Williams, sweeping the far sideline, and he got across it, and he got tackled down there. Somebody knocked his feet out from under. It may have been Anthony Thompson.
It was number 4, Anthony Thompson, who tripped him up.
But Williams is a powerful runner, and he's a fast runner. He went from the 36 to the 41, a 5-yard gain there for Williams. He's over 100 yards tonight, but so is Darrell Prater for Fort Payne. Second down and about 5 with a minute to go in the third quarter. Gadsden to the line of scrimmage. Luke Carlisle has run this offense all night long. And Carlisle will turn again and give it. No, he wants to throw the ball. He throws it. He has a man open down here. The ball incomplete. In and out of the hands of DeJuan White. and he had gone down, cut to the outside, was wide open, looked like the ball hit him in the gut and popped out.
Well, I couldn't tell if it hit him in the gut or hit his knees the way it jumped out that quick. I believe it might have got him in the knees, Larry.
So Fort Payne can stop him now. They're going to get the football back with a chance to tie it. It's 28-21. There's 49 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's a big third down possession play for the Tigers. They've got to get across the 45 for the first down. Look for Robert Williams to get the ball. And Carlisle will give the ball to Williams, trying to sweep the far side. He didn't get the first down, broke a tackle, still on his feet, but he's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. Did not get it.
Boy, he's a tough guy,
He
though,
sure
Larry.
is. He picked up about 2 yards on the play, maybe 3, but it's going to be fourth down with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it's going to be a good 3 yards. He only picked up a yard on the play.
Well, we never did get him down, but after about 5 of our guys finally stopped his forward progress.
It is fourth down, and Gadsden will punt the ball away.
I don't know if I'd do that the way we've been moving the ball, but still with this much time and the ball on their own 43, I guess you better punt it.
Yep, Carlisle will have a chance to kick it away, and now Fort Payne calls a timeout. Fort Payne had a lot of, they didn't know if Gadsden was going to kick it away. They had to call a timeout with 7 seconds to go. Fort Payne didn't have the players they wanted in there, may have had too many players. They called a timeout. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network with the score Gadsden 28, Fort Payne 21, back in a few minutes.
5.
7 seconds to go in this third quarter, and Fort Payne will get the ball back again. And Gadsden, we think, will kick it away. Gadsden, we think, will kick it away. Fort Payne called the timeout. They didn't have the players they wanted in there. Fort Payne, we think, has a couple of timeouts left. Gadsden out of timeouts. We have a whole quarter to go. Of course, Gadsden's going to get a lot of timeouts because of all the injuries they're probably going to have. But here will be Fort Payne to kick it away. Carlisle will kick it to Darrell Prater. Prater will stand on his 20-yard line. A good snap. And Carlisle got away a wobbly kick that Darrell Prater is going to catch at the 20-yard line. He has it at the 20, looking for blocks. No blocks there. But now he gets outside. He's going to be tackled at the 15 as the third quarter comes to an end. Fort Payne will have it when we come back with a chance to grab to tie the game. We'll be back in 1 minute with the score. Gadsden 28, Fort Payne 21. The football as we come back, but they're going to have to make this drive, it looks like, without Darrell Prater, as they're still working with Darrell Prater down there on about the 15-yard line, as he has a cramp of his own. So they're going to go with Anthony Thompson at the tailback, as Darrell is now limping off the field. Fort Payne has the football, though, and they have it at their own 15. Chance to drive the ball down the field and tie this game. 28-21, Fort Payne has clawed themselves right back into this game. They send Alex Igo to the near side and Thomas Ross to the far side. The quarterback is Kenny Chadwick. Dreyer is in there, fullback. Anthony Thompson is your tailback. And Chadwick with a long count. Kenny Chadwick will now run his play, ran his option play, gave it up the middle to Dreyer, and Dreyer got across the 20 and got it up to the 21-yard line. A 6-yard gain there for Dreyer. Jonathan Dreyer picked up 6, and how many yards he have now, Ronnie?
Jonathan's at 70 yards now. He's clipping at 7.7 yards per carry.
And so Dreyer has a chance to get over 100 yards, too. They might have 2 players over 100. Second down, and they actually gained about 7 on that play. We'll give him 6, though. Here is Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage. That same formation with Kenny Chadwick in there. They have twin receivers to the far side. They're going to run his option play. Pitches the ball to the near side to Thompson. At the 20, 25, up to the 30-yard line goes Anthony Thompson. Across the 30 to the 31. And down on the 20-yard line is another Gadsden player with a cramp. He flings his helmet about 5 yards. And now he drags his weary body to the ground and walks on his heels over to pick up his helmet. 11-14 to go in this game. Fort Payne has a first down, as that was a 10-yard scamper for Anthony Thompson.
And the official has to stop the clock once again for the Gadsden player. That's number 31. Well, guess who it is? Reginald Brinson once again.
Oh, you ever had a cramp, Roger?
I've had a cramp.
Boy, those hurt.
With that carry and with that first down, Larry, we've doubled the first downs, 14-7.
Great. And Anthony Thompson with a big carry there. And they're working on Daryl Prater down on the sideline. Fort Payne, this is brutal weather to be playing football in. Fort Payne in excellent condition, and you've seen the effect of cramps in a couple of their players already. Daryl Prater down here on the sideline. They're working on him. Kenny Chadwick went out earlier with the cramps, and weather like this, you're going to have cramps, but you need to be in pretty decent shape. And here is Fort Payne at the 31-yard line. The quarterback under is Kenny Chadwick. They still have Dreyer and Thompson back in there behind him on the I formation. Going to run his option play again and gave it up middle. Dreyer has it to the 40. Dreyer across the 40 to the 45, and he knocked his way up to the 45-yard line. Michael Dreyer went from the 31 to the 44, a 14-yard gallop for Michael Dreyer.
Well, they're just riding.
Michael Dreyer.
I don't know. It's Jonathan Dreyer. Michael is somewhere else.
Yes.
Jonathan is really motoring now. They're running right up the middle. That's so successful. That's why those corner plays are really churning up big yards.
So Jonathan Dreyer is close to 100 yards now. 10:44 to go in this game, and Fort Payne seems to have the whip in their hands right now. Chadwick will throw the ball. He throws it down the middle. He has a man down here. Pate is incomplete. Just through the hands of Pate. Justin Pate couldn't catch it down around the 30-yard line. That would have been a difficult catch. Had to make that over-the-head catch and a difficult catch.
You know, Gadsden could have been flagged for that, Larry. The defender for Gadsden hit Pate well out of bounds after the play had ended, so really kind of lucky that they didn't get a flag.
10:34 to go in this football game. Fort Payne second down and 10. They have the I formation set up in the backfield. And the quarterback under is Chadwick. He ran his option play, gave it to Dreyer, got a hold at the 50. And Dreyer trying to get outside, got to the 49-yard line of Gadsden. And he's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down.
I believe he would have picked up the first down. He hadn't tried to cut left. It just kept forward. Momentum, I believe, would have got him the first down.
Fort Payne may be in two-down territory now with 10:15 to go in the game. And he went from the 45. He picked up about 7 yards on that play, did Dreyer. It is third down and about 3 for Fort Payne. Mark it at the 48-yard line of Gadsden. 10 minutes exactly to go in this game. Third down and 3. Possession play for Fort Payne, maybe, but they'd probably go for it on fourth down unless they lose yardage here. And they're going to give it to Chadwick on the option play. Gave it to Thompson. Thompson cannot get outside to 50, and he's battling his way to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe got to the 49. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down and about 4 for Thompson. He lost. We'll say no gain there. They're going to mark him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, there was no blocking that time on the right side of the Wildcat line. Thompson was forced to try to do it on his own, and he couldn't do it.
Going to give it back to Gadsden now, it looks like, as they're in to punt the ball away. And Kenny Chadwick going to kick it away. He's back in punt formation at the 40, and they drop Williams back. You hate to give the ball back to these guys. You'd love to keep the ball and drive it down the field, but it's just too much. And a high snap, and Chadwick is going to get away a wobbly kick that is going to be bouncing downfield and is going to be bounced out of bounds down around the 22-yard line. So Gadsden will get the football back with 8:56 to go. Now you don't want to see a time-consuming drive by the Tigers. They got it back with 8:56 to go. Fort Payne's defense, Gadsden has only turned it over one time tonight. Fort Payne converted that into a touchdown. So Gadsden, another turnover by the Tigers would look good. 8:56 to go. It's 28-21 in favor of Gadsden. They led it 28-7.
Might want to really watch, Larry. Jonathan Dreyer's out on defense right now because he's been carrying the ball. So we want to keep an eye on that. He's not at linebacker.
I bet he won't be on the sideline long. This will be Carlisle in there. They ran a man in motion on the near side, gave it up the middle of Williams, and Williams is trying to, got it knocked down. Anthony Thompson chopped his feet out from under him after he picked up a couple of yards. Great job there by Anthony Thompson to chop his feet out from under him. Anthony weighs about 135 pounds, and Williams picked up 2 on that play.
They give him 4, Larry.
4 yards on the play. It will be up to there's another injured player for Gadsden down. It's up to the 28-yard line is where it is. And Gadsden has a big lineman down again. So let's go ahead and take a break. We'll take a break with the score: Fort Payne 28, Fort Payne 21, Gadsden 28, back on the Wildcat Sports Network. is Jawan Peoples, a 6'3", 300-pounder, injured for Gadsden with cramps, and he's going off the field, and Fort Payne ready to go now. Gadsden is 8:33 to go in this game. Been a long game, but if Fort Payne could somehow come back and tie this thing, it would be a very worthwhile game for the Wildcats. They have 2nd and 6 for the Tigers, and he's going to give up the middle. Outside is Williams. Williams trying to get outside. He did get outside. He broke it to the outside, got across the 35, 40, 45, 50, and he's going to pull up across the way over there after he got across the midfield line. Well, they mark him short of the midfield line. They mark him at the 46-yard line, so that's a 16-yard run by Robert Williams.
Looked like he'd gained about 15 more. That's when he stopped running. So I guess he went out of bounds there. Lucky break.
It'll be a first down for the Tigers, though, at the 46-yard line. 8:12 to go in the game. Carlisle turns around and says something to Williams, and he resets those backs. Now he resets them back where they were. And this will be one of those other backs running to the far side, and he's going to have a little or no gain over there. Maybe got a couple of yards, and that is Levante Ragland. Ragland's 3rd carry of the night, and he picked up about 3 yards on the play. Ragland hadn't carried many times, has he there, Ronnie?
No, he hasn't, Larry. That's his 4th carry.
4th carry, gained 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 for the Gadsden Tigers as Fort Payne runs players in and out of the game. Down to 7:39, and the Tigers trying to run this clock out. The quarterback is Carlisle. Carlisle will give it to Williams, coming this way. Williams has him out in front of him, and he got by Thompson this time, got across the 50, and got knocked out of bounds short of the 45-yard line of Fort Payne at the 44.
That was a good stiff arm there that he put on Thompson to allow him to pick up the yardage.
It'll be 3rd down and about 2 for the Tigers. Crabtree finally knocked him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and a long 1, we'll say. They mark him at the 46, so he gained 3 on that play. Williams well over 100 yards. 7:25 to go in the game. The quarterback is Carlisle. He has split backs. 3rd down play for Gadsden, and they're going to give it up the middle of Williams. Williams is going to be knocked down, but he's fought his way, and I don't think he got it. He's going to be close. They didn't have to get by the yard, and he is going to be, the way this official on this near side has it marked, he is well short of it, but he's not the one marking it.
Yeah, he is short, Larry.
He's short by about a foot. So Williams is going to pick up a yard on that play, and it's mark him at the 45. It's going to be 4th down and less than a yard. They're going to measure, but you can see if the lines are straight, it's going to be about 2 feet short. Yes, Gadsden wanted to see how far it was short. Really, it's about the length of a football.
Yep, length of a football.
4th down. 7:15 to go in the game. Fort Payne needs to come up with a miracle here. That's what we said about a year ago, wasn't it? Down here on the 1-yard line. And we got that miracle as Gadsden fumbled the snap. So Fort Payne, they have it 4th down and a yard, the Tigers do. So this will be Carlisle to the line of scrimmage. Fort Payne's defense trying to dig in there and stop this Gadsden team. Carlisle runs his quarterback.
He didn't
I don't
get
think
it.
he got it. He didn't make it. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage, and Fort Payne stopped him. Fort Payne will get the football. He got knocked backwards. And man alive, see if we can pick out any numbers there. Crabtree comes limping off with a cramp, but he was hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, let's see what this discussion is about, though. He did not make it, so unless they're
Rory
talking about
Jones
it.
is in there, and Fort Payne stopped him. Fort Payne will get the football with 6:54 to go in the game, trailing by a touchdown, and Coach Elmore has gotten what he wanted. He wanted to have a chance in the 4th quarter, and they've got that chance now. Anthony Thompson still in there at tailback for the Wildcats, but Darrell Prater is moving around rather nicely on this sideline. I think we'll see him again. So here is Fort Payne. Dreyer is your quarterback, and the fullback is Dreyer, and Dreyer gets the ball, and Cabot got to the 50, and Cabot is going to be at the 45-yard line of Gadsden down to the 44. Great fake by Kenny Chadwick. He faked the ball to Dreyer and got it all the way to the Gadsden 44-yard line. 11-yard gain for Kenny Chadwick.
Yeah, Kenny's still limping a little bit, Larry, but he looked pretty good on that one.
I think everybody out there has got the cramps right now.
I think I'm getting it.
28-21. You're going to have to go somewhere else to get that thing rubbed out, right there, Roger. Here's a first down for the Wildcats at the 44 of Gadsden. Chadwick may be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And Chadwick's going to run his trap play to Dreyer. Got to the 40, got to the 35-yard line, lowered his head, goes all the way to the 30. Fort Payne's knocking him off the ball. They mark it at the 30-yard line, a 14-yard gain for Dreyer. And he comes out of the game. Well, he's not coming out of the game. Is he? Yeah, they want him back in there, and back in he goes. Is he over 100 yards yet?
Jonathan Dreyer, 12 carries, 105 yards.
The Fort Payne has 2 runners over 100 yards. They have the ball, more importantly, at the Gadsden 30-yard line with 6:07 to go in this game. They trail by a touchdown. The quarterback under is Chadwick. Chadwick will send Alex Igo to the far side, slot him on that far side. Chadwick, your quarterback, with a long count. And Chadwick's going to run his option play. Got the ball outside to Thompson. Thompson needs a block. Didn't get it, but got by the 25. And it's Daryl Prater it is. And Prater got outside the 25 down to the, they're going to mark him at about the 23. And that is Daryl Prater. And is Daryl still down over there? Nope, he's up. He's down.
He's up.
He
He's
gained
down.
7 yards on the play, did Daryl.
Yeah, they're signaling. The Gadsden coaches are signaling.
23, and Daryl is still down over there, and the Gadsden team has a chance to take a break here. So Daryl is down while they with a cramp, while they work with him on the sideline. Let's go ahead and take a break. 5:43 to go. Gadsden leads it 28-21. We'll be back on the Wildcat Sports Network. The officials have called this timeout on themselves with 5:43 to go, and they're working on Daryl Prater still across the way over there. Still working on him, and Fort Payne, we were just talking during the break, if Fort Payne just had some reserves, they could send in there. Obviously, Gadsden is worn down. Gadsden has a lot more players along that sideline than Fort Payne does. But Fort Payne, if they could somehow come back and snatch this one out, it would be a biggie, wouldn't it?
Big. I wish we had that touchdown, that freebie they gave us earlier that we didn't take advantage of. And that punt return they got that they should never had. And, you know, we'd really be sitting pretty.
Here comes Daryl jogging across the way, and he's got the cramp in his right calf. You ever woke up in the middle of the night with one of those things?
That kills you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's when you wished you had a footboard on your bed where you could press that thing.
Yeah. So here is Fort Payne. They have the ball at the Gadsden 23-yard line. They have Thomas Ross to the near side. And they have Anthony Thompson back in there at tailback now. This will be Thompson with the football. Thompson looking for a block outside. Got to the 35. Got to the 20-yard line. 21 picked up a couple of yards. It may be a yard short of the first down. See where they mark that ball. They're going to mark him at the 21. It's going to be about a yard short. He picked up a yard on the play, 3rd down and a yard, but they're definitely in 2-down territory now. Clock is at 5:09 and counting. So here is Fort Payne, 3rd down and a yard to go. I would think that we're going to see Mr. Dreyer with the football on this play as Chadwick will turn around and say something to Jonathan Dreyer. Down to 4:54 to go. Kenny Chadwick runs Dreyer, and he kept it himself at the 20, the 15, the 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Kenny Chadwick! They faked the ball to Dreyer, and Kenny Chadwick took it into the end zone. A great read by Kenny Chadwick. Fort Payne has come all the way back. Well, Gadsden was looking for Dreyer, weren't they?
Oh, certainly. That was that way all the way, and good call there by the Wildcat coaching staff to let Kenny keep the ball.
Jonathan Sugart, if he can hit the extra point, can tie this game. Fort Payne trailed 28-7 at halftime. It's now 28-27. It's now, they fumbled the ball through his hands, and Dreyer picked it. They pick it up, and Fort Payne's not going to get it, and Gadsden's going to have the ball, but they're not going to get anything out of it. Yeah, they can't score on that. It's going to be 28-27 as they pick the ball up in the air, and Gadsden's not going to be able to get any points out of that. The extra point's just not going to be any good. I don't know if it's a bad snap or if it went through the hands of Payne, but it will not be any points for Gadsden. The extra point fails. Fort Payne still trails 28-27. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Point, you sure love to have had that one.
It kind of bounced off of Jonathan Sugar's hands, Larry.
But was it through Payne's hand? I didn't really pay that much
I think it may have been a muffed place.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Through through Payne's hand.
Yeah.
4:45 to go. If Fort Payne's defense can stop them the way they moved the ball, they still have a chance to win this thing. 28-27, but man, you got to tip your hat to this Wildcat team. Fort Payne is lining up as if they're going to do the onside kick again. They almost got the last one. I think they're going to try the onside kick with 4:45 to go. They don't want to give that ball back to Mr. Williams and company. You don't think you could stop them again, could you? So why not try the onside kick? Gadsden has everybody lined up over there, and we're going to ready to kick it away again here. And the kick is bouncing, and the kick is in the air. The kick is caught over there by Gadsden, and he's going to come this way. And he has one man that can get him at the 50, and down he goes there. Cadwick made the tackle. So Gadsden will have the ball as that ball bounced up to Lane Montgomery, and Montgomery ran it around this way, and Gadsden has the ball in great field position with 4:36 to go.
I think I ought to kick that one deep.
Now you say that. Great hindsight there. They get it at the Wildcat 47-yard line. So here is Fort Payne's defense. If they can stop them, give this offense one more chance at them. You like your chances for Fort Payne pulling the monumental upset. But the defense is going to have to stop them. Carlisle is your quarterback. Carlisle is going to give to Williams, and Williams found a hole, got it down to the 39-yard line of Fort Payne, close to a first down. And it will be a 9-yard gain, maybe a 10-yard gain. Now they give him a 9-yard gain. So it will be second down and a yard for Gadsden. With 4:11 to go, clock very much a factor right now. Fort Payne has really come back in this one, played well. You kind of like the chances, Fort Payne's chances the rest of the year if they can continue to play this well. Carlisle will run Williams to the far side, broke it outside, and he's going to be at the 40-yard line, running parallel and fell down behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't get his first down. He looked like he was kind of toying with the Fort Payne defender over there, and Nathan Nail just came up there and he fell down. Didn't gain anything.
Yeah, he should have went upfield when he had the chance that time. He tried to pick up a little more than he really needed, and he don't get the first down. Now 3rd down and 1. And actually, he lost about the length of a football or so on that one.
But he took some valuable time, precious time off that clock. 3:26 to go in the game. Fort Payne trails by 1 point, 28-27. And this is Carlisle. Carlisle will run Williams to the near side. 40, got his first down this time. 35-30, got outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Well, that's what you were worried about. Now you still don't need to give up here. If you can block this extra point, you still can come back and tie it. But Williams goes 39 yards.
Well, the good side of that is it happened within a minute or so.
Yeah, 3:08 to go. Well, if they score the touchdown, you still can come back and score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion, tie it. Can't you?
Absolutely. That may be the best thing overall. Probably time right now would be more valuable than those yards.
Gadsden could be hit with a delay of game here. Of course, they don't have any more timeouts, right?
No, they don't have any more timeouts. So they're going to try to kick the extra point. Randy Smith is there to kick the extra point. It's 34-27. And Smith will try to kick up the extra point. Snap is low. The kick is almost blocked, but he got it up there and got it through. Man, 3:08 to go, and Smith kicked it through there on the low snap. It's now 35-27. We'll be back. 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Williams going over 100 yards there, Ronnie.
Well, way over 100 yards. 24 carries, 210 yards. All 4 of the Gadsden touchdowns on Williams.
4 out of 5 of them at any rate. And they'll kick it away. And this will be, Smith's going to kick it away. You know, this King guy's been having cramps since the middle of the second quarter. So they're going to have to let King do the kicking off. Fort Payne needs a good run back here, and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion gets you even. And who would have thunk that after being down 28-7 at halftime? Gadsden only scored that one touchdown. Ball fell off the marker. Now they're going to have to re-tee it and get it go. So here we go. Now a short kick that is going to be caught by Thomas Ross at the 30. And Thomas Ross would get up to the 35-yard line, got to the 40, and got knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Just what you wanted. Good field position for the Wildcats.
And a good job by Ross getting out of bounds, too. He seen he couldn't pick up anymore, and he got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
So Fort Payne will start at the 42-yard line. They are 58 yards away from a touchdown and getting back in this game, and Anthony Thompson is still in there. Darrell Prater is still on the sideline, I guess. 3:04 to go, 35-27 is your score. And this will be, Dreyer is in there at fullback. Chadwick as a quarterback. Chadwick rolls back to pass, throws, he has a man, Payne caught it at the 40-yard line near the Gadsden. He got knocked out of bounds. He got stayed inbounds, but he's all the way down to the Gadsden 40-yard line. So the pass was complete from number 15 to number 10, and it was good for 18 yards. Fort Payne has it at the 40-yard line of Gadsden with 2:55 to go, clock not a factor yet. Chadwick is the quarterback, and Anthony Thompson is in there at tailback. They run their option play, kept it himself, and Kenny Chadwick is going to struggle down to the 36-yard line, pick up about 3 or 4 yards, but that's all right. That's a positive play with 2:39 to go. As Chadwick goes for 3 yards to the 37-yard line of Gadsden. 2:31 to go. Clock still moving. Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage. They send Igo to the far side, and they send Ross to the near side, and now clock, and what's a call? Back judge through the penalty. Fort Payne's not a delay of game. No,
I don't know what's going on. We got Darrell Prater over here cramping again.
Illegal procedure against Gadsden.
How can you do that?
Maybe an illegal substitution is what that is. But it'll be a penalty against Gadsden. Probably down to the 5-yard penalty against Gadsden, down to the 32. I think it must have been an illegal substitution. They must have brought a player in late or something. And now they still look awfully confused on defense and have players running around. 1st and 5 for Fort Payne. The clock is running. We're going to be right at the 2-minute mark when this thing starts. They gave it to Dreyer, and Dreyer now late flag in there, and the back judge blew a flag. And